Let's talk about a very specific Hollywood phenomenon. It's called pillow face, and it usually happens when fillers or cosmetic tweaks go just a little too far. Instead of looking refreshed, the face starts looking overly rounded, tight, and almost airbrushed in real life. Let's start with Courtney Cox. For years, the former Friends star looked like she hadn't aged a day, but fans began noticing something else. Her cheeks looked usually full and her facial structure seemed different from, the sharp features she originally had in the 90s. Eventually, Courtney opened up about it. She admitted she went too far with fillers because the changes happened gradually. One procedure leads to another, and suddenly you're looking in the mirror and realizing the person staring back doesn't quite look like you anymore. Her words, not mine. Now, the good news, she had most of the fillers dissolved and said she feels much more like herself now. Madonna. When Madonna appeared at the 2023 Grammy Awards, the internet exploded. People barely recognized her. Her cheeks were dramatically lifted, her jaw looked fuller, and her entire face had that unmistakable pillow effect. Madonna later clapped back at critics, saying the photos were taken with a distorted camera lens. But plastic surgeons and fans alike, pointed out that the rounded cheeks and tightened features are commonly associated with filler overuse. And look, Madonna has always been a chameleon. Reinvention is her brand, but this particular transformation definitely got people talking. Simon Cowell, the brutally honest American Idol judge, became the subject of headlines when viewers noticed his face looking increasingly fuller and less expressive on television. Simon actually addressed it publicly. He admitted he'd been using fillers for years and eventually realized it was just too much. In fact, he said his own son barely recognized old photos of him. That was a wake-up call, right? Simon has since dialed it back and said he's focusing more on healthier lifestyle changes instead of cosmetic procedures. Now let's talk about one of the earliest Hollywood cautionary tales, Lara Flynn Boyle. Now back in the 90s, Lara Flynn Boyle was known for her delicate features and sharp cheekbones. But, over time, her appearance changed dramatically. Photos began circulating showing noticeably swollen cheeks and a tighter, puffier face than fans remembered. Plastic surgeons who spoke to media outlets speculated that fillers and other cosmetic procedures may have contributed to the transformation. And it sparked, a huge conversation about how Hollywood's pressure to stay young can sometimes push actors towards extreme changes. Janice Dickinson, now the legendary supermodel, has been incredibly open about her cosmetic surgery history. She's talked about facelift, fillers, implants, pretty much the whole list. At one point, her cheeks appeared significantly fuller than they had during her supermodel days, giving her that classic overfilled look. But Janice has always been unapologetically honest about the industry and the choices she made to keep working on it. And finally, Donatella Versace. Now, as the creative force behind the Versace empire, Donatella has lived in the spotlight for decades. Over the years, her appearances have evolved dramatically with fuller cheeks, smoother skin, a much rounder facial structure than she had in earlier photos. And plastic surgeons frequently cite her as an example of how repeated fillers and procedures can gradually change the natural proportions of the face. But Donatella herself has never shied away from cosmetic treatments. In fact, she said beauty and reinvention have always been a part of the fashion culture. And here's the truth about pillow face. It's rarely one procedure. It's a slow buildup. It's a little filler, here, a little filler there, until the balance kind of shifts. But lately, something interesting is happening. More celebrities are dissolving fillers, and some are even embracing a more natural look again, which might be the biggest plot twist of them all in the beauty industry. Hollywood has always been obsessed with weight loss, but the newest red carpet transformation trend isn't a trainer, a detox tea, or some miracle cleanse that tastes like lemon-flavored punishment. It's prescription weight loss injections like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. And while the pounds can disappear quickly, something else tends to disappear too: facial volume. Dermatologists even have a name for it now, Ozempic face. It's that hollowed out, suddenly gaunt look that can happen when fat leaves the cheeks faster than the skin can adjust. And when it comes to celebrities, the before and after photos can be pretty striking. Let's talk about a few stars whose faces have noticeably changed during the GLP-1 era. First up, Whoopi Goldberg. Now, the legendary comedian openly admitted that she used a weight loss injection after her weight climbed significantly following health issues and reduced mobility. She said the medication worked extremely well. The weight came off quickly, but fans noticed something else in recent appearances. Her once fuller face now looks noticeably slimmer with sharper cheekbones and deeper lines around the mouth. It's the exact type of facial volume change dermatologists say often happens with rapid weight loss. Next, there's Rebel Wilson. Rebel famously launched what she called her year of health, dropping a huge amount of weight through lifestyle changes and medical guidance, allegedly. She later revealed that she had briefly tried a GLP-1 medication during that journey. Earlier photos show her signature rounder cheeks and soft facial structure. Now, in newer photos, her face appears significantly slimmer with more defined cheekbones and subtle, hollow near the temples. It's not necessarily a bad change, just a very dramatic one. Then we have pop star Meghan Trainor. She openly said she used the medication Mounjaro along with diet and workouts to help reach her weight loss goals after having her children. The transformation was noticeable. Older photos show fuller cheeks and again a softer face, while recent appearances show a much sharper facial structure and more pronounced cheekbones. Fans immediately notice the difference. Next up is reality television personality Renee Graziano. Now, Renee revealed she lost more than 50 pounds in just a few months using a GLP-1 medication. That kind of rapid weight loss dramatically reshaped her appearance. I mean, her face now appears much slimmer with a more defined jawline and noticeably less volume in the cheeks compared to older photos. Then there's comedian and television host Rosie O'Donnell. Now, Rosie shared that she began taking Mounjaro primarily to help manage diabetes, but the weight loss that followed surprised even her. When she posted new photos online, fans quickly pointed out how different she looked. Her face appeared slimmer, more visible lines, and less fullness around the cheeks, another classic sign of rapid facial fat loss. And finally, we have Sharon Osbourne. I mean, Sharon has been one of the most brutally honest celebrities about the experience. She revealed she lost more than 40 pounds using Ozempic, but later admitted she felt the weight loss may have gone a little too far. Her facial transformation became one of the most talked about examples of Ozempic face. I mean, her cheeks appear much thinner now, and her overall facial structure looks far more angular than it did before. I mean, Sharon has even said publicly that these medications are powerful, not something everyone should jump into lightly. These medications can be incredibly effective, and for many people, they're genuinely life-changing. But when weight drops quickly, the face often tells the story just as loudly as the number on the scale. Everybody in Hollywood suddenly looks like they survived a famine and a divorce at the exact same time, and the internet is convinced Ozempic is behind half of it. First up is Cynthia Erivo. Now, Cynthia has naturally always been very lean, but during the Wicked press tour, people online became obsessed with just how tiny she looks. Social media immediately grouped her into the larger conversation happening around celebrity weight loss and ultra-thin beauty standards returning again. And honestly, the timing is what makes everybody suspicious, because somehow the entire entertainment industry started looking dramatically thinner all at once. Next up is Ariana Grande. Now, Ariana sparked major concern during, recent award shows and her Wicked press tour appearances as well, because fans noticed how dramatically thinner she looked compared to just a few years back. Her cheeks looked more hollow, her facial structure looked sharper, and social media immediately went into detective mode. Now, Ariana has spoken before about people commenting on her body and how harmful that is for her and how harmful it can be, which is fair, but the internet has fully entered its, forensic era, and every red carpet photo now turns into a 30-minute investigation about cheekbones and collarbones. Next up is Mindy Kaling. Now, Mindy shocked people because her transformation happened incredibly fast. One minute she looked kind of, normal and healthy, and then suddenly fans were asking how she lost so much weight in such a short amount of time, and every celebrity claims the same thing: walking, drinking water, portion control. Meanwhile, they look like they lost an entire Costco family pack of body weight in 4 months. Fans especially noticed how different Mindy's face looked: much slimmer jawline, more hollow cheeks, and that is where this Ozempic conversation keeps happening, because rapid weight loss can completely change facial volume. Next up is Nicole Kidman. Now, Nicole has always been slim, but fans recently started pointing out that she looks noticeably thinner than before, and because every celebrity in Hollywood seems to be shrinking at the exact same time, people instantly connected it to the Ozempic rumors. I mean, at this point, if a celebrity loses 10 pounds, the internet acts like the FBI just opened a case file. Then we have Kathy Bates. Now, this one shocked a lot of people because Kathy revealed she lost weight over I think 100 pounds, and openly admitted that Ozempic helped her during part of that process. But fans were divided after seeing newer appearances, because while she looked healthier physically, some people felt the dramatic facial changes aged her significantly. And this is the part nobody in Hollywood talks about enough. Fast weight loss can sometimes make people look older in the face, even when they technically lost weight overall. Finally, we need to talk about Demi Moore. Now, Demi has always been stunning, genetically blessed beyond reason, but recent appearances had fans split down the middle. Some people thought she looked incredible, while others said the dramatic weight loss made her look older and more fragile in the face. And honestly, this keeps happening with these celebrity transformations. The body gets smaller, the face loses softness, and suddenly everyone starts looking exhausted instead of youthful. Hollywood really said, remove the buccal fat and pray for the best. I mean, the biggest plot twist in all of this is that some celebrities genuinely looked younger before the extreme weight loss, because skinny and healthy are not always the same thing, no matter how hard Hollywood tries to convince us otherwise, right?
The queen of blackfishing, Ariana Grande, has had quite a transformation. During her Dangerous Woman era, she tanned her skin a lot, and a lot of people called her out for blackfishing. I mean, in some of her music videos and live performances, her skin is darker than Nicki Minaj's, who is actually black. Now, Ariana has also been called out for sporting a black scent, a term for non-black individuals emulating African American Vernacular English, or AAVE. Now, comparisons Comparisons from her white Floridian accent of her early teen years to some of her 2018 interviews are quite jarring. Now, she's also been accused of appropriating black culture in her 7 Rings music video. Not to mention, we see her start to drop the use of AAVE in the 2020s. Now, this is around the time she began auditioning and eventually got the role of Glinda in Wicked. Then her tan begins to fade, she dyes her hair blonde, and her voice changes to be more high-pitched and airy. It's quite a dramatic change from the years before, as if she's a completely different person. Kim Kardashian is someone who's also known for blackfishing a lot. The reality star has also spurred backlash for wearing cornrows, a style she began sporting as early as 2016. Now, she even showed up in cornrows to the 2018 MTV Movie and TV Awards and shared an up-close of the hairdo on Twitter the following day. Now, in 2017, she dressed up as the late American singer Aaliyah for Halloween, and people immediately criticized her for posing as a black woman. Not to mention, she faced backlash for a photo shoot for her beauty brand KKW Beauty, where people claimed her skin was darker than normal. Kim responded to this saying, "I would obviously never want to offend anyone. I used an amazing photographer and a team of people. I was really tan when we shot these images, and it might be that the contrast was off, but I showed the image to many people in the business, and no one brought that to our attention. No one mentioned it," she said. Now, it seems like Kylie Jenner was following in the footsteps of her sister Kim, as Kylie's style has evolved over the years. She's been seen wearing cornrows, twists, and do-rag, all styles associated with black culture, in photos that she shared with her massive follower base. Now, because Kylie is white, people have said she's been appropriating black culture in an effort to be trendy and fashion forward. Now, she's also been accused of failing to credit the black designers behind some of her clothes as well. And since Iggy Azalea has been on the scene as a rapper, she's been accused of blackfishing. From her sound, which her fellow rapper Jean Grey referred to as verbal blackface, to her deepening tan, people have said Iggy has been pretending to be black. Her I Am the Strip Club music video kickstarted a new round of blackfishing accusations in July 2021, as the rapper sported a dark wig and a deep tan. Now, she denied any wrongdoing though, saying, "I don't care, F those people, babe, LOL."
These before and after photos of celebs with the worst Ozempic face will shock you. First up, Jessica Simpson. Jessica has always been known for her curves, her glow, and that soft, all-American fullness in her face, but her recent photos, the weight loss is dramatic, yes, but her face looks very hollowed out, especially around the eyes and cheeks. The brightness that used to soften her features is replaced with sharpness that makes her look exhausted instead of refreshed. It's the classic Ozempic face effect. Body gets smaller, face loses the cushion, and suddenly you look 10 years older overnight. Next, we have Scott Disick. Now, Scott is a walking cautionary tale. Early keeping up, Scott had a fuller face, youthful skin, and balance. Now, his face looks sunken, gaunt, and oddly stretched, like the volume, slider was turned down too far. Fans noticed it immediately, especially the deep lines around his mouth and eyes, and this is one of the most talked about transformations because it didn't look gradual. It looked very sudden, and sudden is where Ozempic face really shows its hand. Now let's talk about someone people don't expect at all, Oprah Winfrey. Yes, Oprah has always looked very powerful, vibrant, and healthy, at every size. But after openly discussing weight loss medication, the shift in her face became very noticeable. Her cheeks appear flatter, her jaw is sharper, and that signature warmth in her expression feels very muted. It's very subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And this is what happens when weight loss, outpaces the skin's ability to adapt. Next, we have Mindy Kaling. Now, Mindy's transformation shocked people, not because she lost weight, but because she lost so much of it so quickly. Her face used to be very round, very expressive, and very youthful looking. Now it appears tight, narrow, and drawn, especially in candid photos. I mean, the volume loss in her cheeks makes her eyes look larger and her smile look strained. It's, a textbook example of Ozempic face making someone look older just instead of healthier. Next, we have Rebel Wilson. Now, Rebel's weight loss was praised nonstop, but her face tells a more complicated story. Before, she had softness that balanced her features. After, her face looked, dramatically slimmer, but also it looks more angular and just kind of tired. I mean, the cheeks are a lot flatter, the skin less plump, and the overall effect is, well, harsh. When fat disappears faster than collagen can recover, this is the result. And finally, last but not least, we have Jonah Hill. Now, Jonah has, fluctuated in weight loss for years, but his most recent slim down came with very noticeable facial changes. His cheeks appear very sunken in, his skin is a lot thinner, and his facial structure far more severe than before. This is where people start confusing thin with healthy, when in reality, the face looks strained and prematurely aged. Here is the thing, Ozempic face isn't about losing weight, it's about losing it too fast. A celebrity plastic surgery journey has gone off the rails when fans start digging up photos from 10 years ago and collectively asking, what happened? First up, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke was once considered one of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs. In the 1980s, he had the rugged, leading man look that made him a star, but after stepping away from acting to pursue boxing, he suffered multiple facial injuries and later underwent a series of reconstructive and cosmetic procedures. Even Rourke himself has openly discussed having surgeries to repair damage from boxing. Now, over the years, fans noticed dramatic changes to his facial structure, and his appearance became a constant topic of conversation online. The irony, many people felt that the surgeries intended to restore his looks ended up making him look nearly unrecognizable. Next up, let's talk about Janice Dickinson. Now, the self-proclaimed world's first supermodel built a career on striking features and a very fierce runway presence. But over the years, Dickinson became very open about undergoing numerous cosmetic procedures, including facelift, breast augmentation, tummy tucks, and even a lot more. What makes her story so fascinating is that she never really hid any of it. In fact, she talked about it publicly. But, as the procedures accumulated, many critics argued that her natural beauty became overshadowed by an increasingly artificial appearance. It's one of those cases where people often point to old photos and wonder why she ever felt the need to change anything at all. Then we have Carrot Top, yes, the comedian. Now, for years, rumors swirled that Carrot Top had undergone extensive cosmetic work. While he's denied many of the more extreme claims, comparisons between older and newer photos have fueled endless speculation. The internet has spent decades trying to figure out exactly what changed, but one thing is very clear. His appearance evolved dramatically from the fresh-faced comedian audiences first met. Now, whether it's cosmetic procedures, fitness transformation, lighting, aging, or some combination of everything, his look remains one of Hollywood's most discussed transformations. Now let's talk about Pete Burns. If you grew up with the band Dead or Alive, you remember Pete Burns for that iconic look and unmistakable voice, but over time, Burns underwent numerous cosmetic procedures and was very candid about struggling with complications from several of them. His story became one of the most cautionary tales in celebrity plastic surgery history. Burns repeatedly and reportedly spent enormous amounts of money trying to achieve a certain appearance, only to, face repeated corrective surgeries afterwards. It's a reminder that even celebrities with unlimited resources aren't immune to procedures going wrong. And finally, we have Meg Ryan. This one shocked a lot of people because Meg Ryan was America's sweetheart. She had that instantly recognizable smile, the girl next door charm, that kind of made her one of the biggest stars of the 90s. Then as years passed, fans began noticing significant changes in her appearance. Media outlets and entertainment shows spent years speculating about possible cosmetic procedures, and public reaction was very intense. Many viewers felt that some of the qualities that made her look uniquely Meg Ryan had been altered. What's interesting is that her transformation sparked a larger conversation about the impossible standards placed on women in Hollywood. Let's talk about the glow-ups that somehow turned into glow no's, because today's before and after isn't about aging gracefully, it's about when subtle went out the window and fillers took the wheel. For the men on this list, Zac Efron. Zac Efron used to have the kind of face Disney executives, ensure. Clean jawline, boy next door smile, zero notes. Then suddenly his face showed up looking different, puffy, wider, almost like his jaw went through a growth spurt without telling the rest of his head. Zac had said it was the result of an injury and recovery, and sure, that may explain some of it, but the internet noticed the fillers, the swelling, the stiffness. The thing is, Zac didn't need a single tweak. He aged into his looks perfectly. Whatever happened, intentional or not, it muted what made him so effortlessly attractive in the first place. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell is basically the poster child for just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Early Simon, sharp, expressive, naturally aging. Then came the fillers and more fillers. And then the point where his face stopped moving altogether. He's openly admitted he went too far, which honestly earns him some points for self-awareness. But at one point, his face looked like it was permanently surprised by its own reflection. When your job is reacting to people emotionally, freezing your face is a choice. Mickey Rourke. Now this one hurts. Mickey Rourke was devastatingly handsome in the 80s. Rugged, masculine, movie star handsome. Then boxing injuries, surgeries, and bad cosmetic decisions piled up. His face now barely resembles the man he once was. Mickey has openly said the surgeries were meant to fix damage, not chase youth, but the results speak for themselves, right? I mean, it's one of the most extreme before and after cases in Hollywood, and a reminder that too much reconstruction can completely erase what made someone iconic. John Travolta. Now, John Travolta had one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. Strong features, expressive eyes, that, unmistakable smile. Now, over the years though, his face started to look overly smooth, tight in places it never used to be. The kind of look, where you can't tell if he's 45 or a very well-preserved wax figure. It's not disastrous, but it's a clear case of over-maintenance, dulling natural character. Sometimes the lines are what make the face in the first place. Wayne Newton. Now, Wayne Newton's face tells a long story of just one more tweak. Early on, he looked great, classic Vegas charm, but, over time, repeated procedures stretched, tightened, and altered his features, kind of to the point where he became almost unrecognizable. When cosmetic work starts making you look like a different person instead of a refreshed version of yourself, that's when it's kind of gone too far. Sylvester Stallone. Now, Sylvester Stallone built his image on rugged masculinity. The face, the snarl, the wear and tear, it all worked. But in recent years, his face has looked overly filled and smoothed, especially around the eyes and cheeks. It softens him in a way that clashes with the persona he's known for. He didn't need to fight aging. I mean, aging, was part of his brand. The takeaway here isn't that men shouldn't touch their faces. It's that Hollywood keeps convincing people that aging is the enemy when overdoing it is actually a lot worse. A few lines tell a story. A frozen face just tells everyone you panicked. And honestly, the most tragic part, most of these men were already aging just fine. The real glow up would have been leaving well enough alone. Renee Zellweger was once one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, from her breakout role in Jerry Maguire to her career-defining performance as Bridget Jones. Her round face and girl next door charm made her instantly identifiable. But in 2014, fans were shocked when Renee appeared at the Elle Women in Hollywood Awards looking almost like an entirely different person. Her face was noticeably slimmer, her eyes looked wider, and many wondered if she had undergone, cosmetic surgery. The change was so drastic that her appearance sparked weeks of headlines. Renee later explained that she was simply healthier, happier, and living a quieter life away from Hollywood pressure. But it's undeniable, that when you compare her photos from the early 2000s to even right now, she looks nearly unrecognizable. Macaulay Culkin, the child star who stole the world's heart as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, went through one of the most dramatic transformations in celebrity history. In the 1990s, his blonde hair and mischievous smile made him one of the most famous kids in the world. But after stepping away from acting, he re-emerged in the 2010s looking shockingly different, very gaunt, pale, and much older than his age. Tabloids speculated about substance dependency issues, and photos of him during that time went absolutely viral. However, in recent years, Macaulay has made a remarkable comeback. With his healthier appearance, long hair, and a more polished look, he seems like a completely different person that both the child star we once knew and the troubled adult that worried fans. The before and after photos tell a story of a life in the spotlight that hasn't been easy, but one that has absolutely turned a corner. Kelly Osbourne's transformation shocked fans in a totally different way. When she first burst onto TV screens in The Osbournes, she was known then for her punk style, colorful hair, and fuller figure. She was outspoken, brash, and unapologetically herself. But over the years, Kelly committed to an incredible health journey. I mean, she revealed she underwent gastric sleeve surgery and then made very dramatic, drastic lifestyle changes, shedding over 80 pounds. Her appearance today is almost unrecognizable compared to the rebellious teen we first saw in the early 2000s. Beyond her weight loss, though, her entire style has evolved. She now sports kind of a very sleek look, polished makeup, and fashion-forward outfits that make her look like a completely different person. The before and after photos of Kelly highlight one of the most dramatic glow-ups in recent celebrity history. Lil' Kim's transformation has been one of the most most talked about in the music world. The legendary rapper, whose rose to fame in the 1990s with her bold lyrics and unapologetic style, looked very different in her early days. She was known for her striking features, brown skin, and signature fashion statements, but over the years her appearance has changed drastically. Fans noticed a very lighter skin tone, altered facial features, and different hairstyles that often make her look unrecognizable compared to her 90s self. Lil' Kim has admitted to undergoing multiple surgeries, but she's also spoken about struggling with self-image issues, and rooted in very difficult relationships, the harsh industry pressures has taken a toll on her. The before and after comparisons show how much she has transformed, to the point that some new fans barely realize she was once the same woman who redefined female rap in the 90s. Lastly, we have Brendan Fraser. Now, his transformation might be the most shocking, but also the most inspiring. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Fraser was one of Hollywood's leading men, starring in The Mummy, George of the Jungle, countless other blockbusters. He was known for his athletic build, charming looks, and goofy sense of humor, but years of performing, his own stunts left him with severe injuries, leading to multiple surgeries. Combined with personal struggles and stepping away from Hollywood, Fraser's appearance changed dramatically. He gained weight, looked much older than expected, and fans barely recognized him. For years, he was out of the spotlight, almost forgotten, but recently, with his acclaimed performance in The Whale, he has returned triumphantly. Now, he looks different, yes, but his resilience and vulnerability have basically won him even more fans. His before and after photos tell the story of a man who fell from Hollywood heights and found redemption in his comeback. Keeping up with the Kardashians coming clean has been a full-time job, and finally, the truth about their plastic surgery has been revealed. Few families in Hollywood have been as scrutinized for their physical transformations as the Kardashian-Jenners. They have been criticized for seemingly lying about or avoiding openly discussing their plastic surgery procedures, which may be due to a combination of factors. Some speculate that they want to maintain the perception of natural beauty to continue building their brands and influence. Others suggest that they may fear backlash or negative attention if they are perceived as promoting unrealistic beauty standards. Additionally, there's a potential for lawsuits or negative publicity if they admit to certain procedures, as seen in the past. Now, both on social media and in interviews with the press, Kim, Khloe, Kylie, Kourtney, Kris, and Kendall have faced endless questions about whether or not they've undergone plastic surgery, and in some cases, they've come under fire for denying certain procedures. It isn't new for someone to hop on a mic and ask, a Kardashian to reveal the specifics of their plastic surgeries, but it is new for one of them to respond. Kylie Jenner has not always openly acknowledged undergoing breast augmentation surgery. She initially denied having work done on her breast, but ended up confirming it on the Kardashians. She even shared details about a second procedure, including the size of her implants, on TikTok recently. Responding to a comment, she said, 445cc, moderate profile, have under the muscle, silicone, Garth Fisher, hope this helps, LOL. Jenner has also expressed regret over her decision to get, breast implants before becoming a mother. Her providing the details of her implants was an instantly viral moment, probably because Kylie hadn't even confirmed she had a second breast augmentation to begin with. Now, this shortly follows Kris Jenner shocking the world just a couple weeks ago, with a new face that looked decades younger. Though she didn't come right out to reveal what she'd had done, she didn't deny mass speculation that a facelift was the culprit either. In fact, the representatives confirmed that she had recent work done by Stephen Levine. Now, they didn't specify what procedure she's undergone, but seeing as Dr. Levine specializes in facelifts, the internet, put two and two together. Kim Kardashian has come a long way since her first brush with Botox during a 2010 episode of Keeping Up. Now, the reality star wrote on her now defunct blog that, she freaked out over facial bruising following the injection. She said in the episode, "I'm feeling like my eyes are on fire. What if, he hit a nerve? Seriously, I know this is not normal. What I am feeling is not normal." However, she's since admitted to having a little bit of Botox, but no filler, in her face during a 2022 Alert interview, and getting Botox injections in her neck on a 2023 episode of The Kardashians. So why are they bearing it all now? Well, like always, the Kardashians follow trends, and it seems as though right now it's on trend to admit to getting work done. They also may just be tired of lying, but what do you guys think though? Is there a bigger reason they are suddenly being honest with their fans?
And at number 10, Dorit Kemsley. Dorit Kemsley has starred on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since season 7, and her face face has changed considerably since she's been in the spotlight. If you look even further back, Dorit looks unrecognizable from her younger self, leading many to believe she's had lots of cosmetic enhancements. Dorit addressed these rumors in a recent Instagram AMA. When asked if she'd ever had plastic surgery, she responded, quote, "The only plastic surgery that I've had done is my boobs. It drives me crazy when people say I've had plastic surgery on my face. I've done filler and Botox, and I work with masterful makeup artists who can transform your face." She has also addressed this topic in multiple reunions for the show. In last year's reunion, she said she thinks it's comical when people claim that she's had a facelift or a bunch of surgeries. She also revealed in this year's reunion that she's never had a nose job. But honestly, a lot of fans do not believe her. And at number 9, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox was at the center of plastic surgery rumors when she all of a sudden looked unrecognizable from her former self. Courtney addressed the rumors and revealed that she did not have plastic surgery, but she did get fillers and Botox every now and then, which led to layers and layers of changes that she just didn't like. Cox told New Beauty, quote, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look like myself. I think that I now look more like the person that I was. I hope I do." And at number 8, Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson has been deemed the world's first supermodel, starting her career very early, then transitioning into reality TV and publishing. But as she got older, her looks changed in ways that she didn't like, and she started to get procedures to stay younger. She admitted that she got her first cosmetic procedure at the age of 33. In an interview with ABC News, Janice revealed all her procedures. Quote, "Brow lift, yes, I've had my brow lifted." She said, "I was getting a bit of sag coming down my face, so I lifted them up. Yes, I've had collagen put in, injections. It's for the fine lines on the face." Because of all her cosmetic work, she looks unrecognizable from who we knew in her modeling days. And at number 7, Melanie Griffith. Melanie Griffith says she didn't realize how much she had changed from her cosmetic enhancements until she heard what fans were saying about her appearance. She said, quote, "I didn't realize until people started saying, 'Oh my god, what has she done?' I was so hurt I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of the this other woman doctor had put in. Hopefully I look more normal now." Melanie also spoke about how her many divorces and substance abuse affected not only her life but her appearance as well. But following her split from Antonio Banderas, she says she's in a healthy place and is hanging out with her girlfriends. And at number 6, Tara Reid. Tara Reid underwent multiple plastic surgeries after she starred a few hit movies, including American Pie and the Pussycat Dolls. In 2004, after many of the surgeries were botched, she was forced to undergo corrective surgeries in 2007. She told Us Weekly, quote, "I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." After the botched surgery, she was unable to land the same high caliber projects that she had once before, and she was only considered for spoof movies like Sharknado. She told People in 2008, quote, "In my American Pie days, everyone was kissing my butt. I didn't realize how good I had it." Now she's terrified of ever getting surgery or cosmetic enhancements again. Halfway number 5, Reed Ewig. While Modern Family actor Reed Ewig was suffering from body dysmorphia, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, all of which he regrets. He told the Huffington Post that after all the swelling from the surgeries went down, the results were not all what he expected, adding, quote, "I vowed I would never get cosmetic surgery again, even though I was still deeply insecure about my looks. It took me about 6 months before I was comfortable with people even looking at me. I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries." While he was recovering, he decided to take some time away from acting. And at number 4, Jennifer Grey. The legendary Dirty Dancing star was known for her unique nose that really made her stand out from the crowd. However, in 1989, after she became a huge star, she decided to get a nose job and made her nose look like every other big star, and sadly her career shrank alongside her small nose. The nose job was pretty minor, but because her nose was so distinct before, it made her completely unrecognizable. She said about the regrettable procedure, quote, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. And because nobody recognized her, she didn't have the star power the movies were looking for, and she stopped landing roles as a result." And at number 3, Rumer Willis. After Rumer stepped out looking very different from her usual self, fans speculated that she went under the knife. It was rumored that she received a nose job, reduced her chin, and had lip injections. It's not a stretch to assume that she's had work done, as Rumors admitted she supports plastic surgery and would be open if she went that route. She said, quote, "In Hollywood, I feel like there's a big stigma about hiding things, but people aren't stupid. If all of a sudden you jump from being an A cup to like double D's, people know. I just think you have to be who you are and own it, and not be ashamed to feel like you have to apologize." Rumors also opened up about feeling pressure from social media to change her looks because people are more vocal behind a computer screen. And at number 2, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne was first known to the world as a Disney star on the show Shake It Up. But as she grew older, she changed more than what was possible naturally. Bella's been accused of having a nose job, job and getting lip filler. It's speculated that she had her first lip injection when she was just 16 and had a rhinoplasty the following year. As for breast implants, one source claims she went from a 34A to a 34D. Bella has not commented directly on these surgery accusations, but from the changes it's assumed that she is not au naturel. And finally, number 1, Charlotte Crosby. The Geordie Shore star has been getting surgery ever since she got on TV and has changed drastically. It's at the point where some fans are worried she actually has a surgery addiction. Charlotte openly admitted that she'd had a nose job back in 2016. She also admits to getting lip filler once a year and getting a boob job to correct a medical condition she was born with that gave her a quote uniboob. The first cosmetic enhancement she received was a tattoo on her eyebrow so she wouldn't need to fill them in. At first, Charlotte hid her rhinoplasty from fans, but weeks later she posted a YouTube vlog about the entire process. After she posted photos from a holiday she took to Brazil, the comments accused her of getting more work done. One comment said, "She should have stopped with the surgery, Botox and fillers a long time ago." Another person wrote, "Poor girl, her face is badly swollen. Is it an allergy?"
Kicking things off at number 10, Donatella Versace. Famous designer Donatella Versace has endured her fair share of criticisms in the past, mostly pertaining to her look. Donatella's appearance has definitely evolved over time, but I mean, she's the head of a designer Versace company. I think she remains unfazed by what people have to say about her appearance. I mean, she's got money, she doesn't care. She's been criticized for her heavy plastic surgery and Botox, and people have even made comparison diagrams of her looks back in '97 when she took over the Versace company after the death of her brother, to now at the age of 65. People are saying that because of the Botox and fillers she's received over the years, her skin's elasticity is broken, and this leads her to looking older, so she wants to keep getting Botox and that cycle continues. I have to admit that yes, her skin is looking damaged because of the work she's had done, but like I said, she's the head of one of the biggest designer brands in the world, so her appearance really doesn't matter. At number 9, Prince Philip. Let's talk about my Uncle Phil. He's not really my uncle, but my dad used to try and convince me and my family that we related to the Queen because we're British and that she's my aunt. I love my Aunt Eliza. Anyway, Phil. My man's 99 years old and still kicking. I applaud this man for his resilience, but also he's not looking too great. I'm not trying to shade the man, but come on. There have been a number of fake news articles saying that Phil is dead, and I can't really say I'm surprised. I don't know if there's something going on with his health or something, but the man's not looking too good. He had been working and doing his royal duties until the age of 96. 96! And he only just came out of retirement to return to his royal duties for a brief period of time this year to observe the commemorative anniversary of victory over Japan Day, because he was on active duty the day that Japan surrendered 75 years ago. The fact that this nearly 100-year-old man came out of retirement to participate in this occasion is astonishing. I really hope that Phil hangs on a few more years, because it would really be nice to see him enjoy his retirement for a little while longer. Love you, Uncle Phil. And at 8, Nicolas Cage. There are some people who think that Nick Cage is a vampire because he doesn't age. I'm not kidding. This is a real speculation, but I'm not here to talk about the idea that he hasn't aged. I'm here to talk about how much he has. And not just himself, but his career. Nicolas Cage has had a pretty successful career. From National Treasure to Ghost Rider to Moonstruck, one of my personal favorites, Nick Cage has seen the rise of his career. But as all things must do, things fall. Nicolas Cage hasn't been featured in many big budget films recently. Though he's still a household name, things just aren't what they used to be since he's gotten older. The film industry is notorious for dropping their stars when they get too old, and that kinda sucks, cause I feel like a good old Nick Cage movie is just what we need to get us through these challenging times. But unfortunately, things just aren't the same for Mr. Cage. He's even racked up some pretty hefty debts, and since he's not getting the work that he once was, he can't pay it off. Even his net worth has gone down significantly compared to what it used to be in his prime. Nick here is looking pretty good for his age, but Hollywood doesn't think so, and that's just too bad. At least we're getting a Nicolas Cage meta-drama soon, cause that'll be great. At number 7, Britney Spears. Britney Spears isn't what she used to be. Though she rose to fame for being that innocent baby-voiced pop star, she has definitely changed since then. It isn't just her appearance that has changed over the years. First of all, her voice has changed. I know that she still sings in that same high-pitched voice, but she struggles to maintain that since it's not her real voice. If you've heard what she really sounds like, it's completely different. Her vocal cords have deteriorated over time and is now known for lip syncing since her voice is basically destroyed. On top of that, her reputation has also aged quite a bit. First she was the bubbly pop star that everyone loved, then she was the crazy pop star who shaved her head, and now she's the trapped pop star who doesn't even own her own life. Yeah, sure, she's aged herself, like she's getting older, but she still looks great. But her career has aged horribly since it's completely different from what it used to be, even though she and her management are trying to salvage whatever's left of her image. At 6, Jim Carrey. I'm including Jim in this list because I'm a little bamboozled by him. First, let's discuss his physical age. In 2017, when he was 55, he was out here looking like this. He looked quite aged, gray hair and beard included. He honestly didn't look 55 at all. He was looking at least 10 years older. Now fast forward to 2019 when he hits the red carpet looking like this. What? My guy went back in time. It's such a drastic change. Just by cleaning himself up a bit and dyeing his hair, he looked 10 years younger than he did in 2017. Crazy. But that's not the only thing that has changed drastically. His career has also changed. Though his career in the 90s and early 2000s was stacked with hits like The Mask, Ace Ventura, and The Grinch, again, personal favorite, in later years it hasn't been the same. According to Rotten Tomatoes, his 2018 film Dark Crimes has a pretty rotten rating and was not at all well received by critics. Also, he was in the Sonic movie, so need I say more. Jim has aged quite a bit, not as bad as some, but still quite drastically. Halfway through at number 5, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan has had quite a tumultuous career so far, going from being a beloved child star to being somewhat of a has-been with some public stunts and scandals here and there. Lindsay has aged herself quite a bit. Lindsay is only in her 30s, so she's still really young, but throughout her years of alcohol and this has done some damage to her physical appearance over the years. Lindsay has had her time in rehab for her addiction and overall wellness. So that stress and less than healthy habits seem to have taken its toll. Not to mention, her reputation has also aged ungracefully as well. She had a lot of success in her early career, but there came a point where her public stunts and unhealthy lifestyle got the best of her. She seems to be doing okay now and is coming to grips with the life that she has. In at 4, Carrot Top. For anyone who knows who Carrot Top is, you know he's a very eccentric guy. The stand-up comedian is now 55 years old, but is honestly looking a little odd. I mean, in true Carrot Top fashion, I guess it works for him, but for a lot of online critics, he's looking a little worse for wear. I hadn't seen a picture of him in so long, so when I was researching this list, I was almost shocked at how different he looked now. Though people have claimed that he's had some bad work done to him, Carrot Top denies everything and says that's just the way he's built. We don't know if the plastic surgery speculation is true at all, but either way, Carrot Top is out here looking unique as a middle-aged man. It's nice to see that even though he's aged, he's still staying true to his signature look, even if people aren't too stoked about it. Coming in at number 3, Ozzy Osbourne. The famed Black Sabbath member is far past his prime. Though he was a hit musician in the 70s, he was fired from the group in 1979 due to his heavy substance abuse. His and alcohol usage was probably the reason why he's aged so poorly. His substance problem is so well documented that there's a pretty lengthy section about it on his wiki page. Like, it's pretty long. It is said that he was once so heavily intoxicated that he forgot an entire year of his life. He was so drunk that he fired his band just to not remember doing that and the next day carrying on as if nothing happened. Obviously, this kind of heavy substance usage does some serious damage to your health. Ozzy is only 71, which is still pretty young, but his skin looks dull and wrinkled from his long history of substance experimentation. He's talented, I'll give him that, but his past has definitely come back to haunt him and his well-being. I know that he suffers from Parkinson's syndrome, and that has already affected his body and overall health, but I'm sure his substance abuse from the past has also made a big impact as well. At number 2, Pamela Anderson. In nearly every article about celebrities who've aged poorly, you're bound to see Pamela Anderson's name pop up. Honestly, I don't know why. To me, she looks fine. I've seen worse. I mean, look at Phil. Need I say more? At only 53 years old, people are criticizing how she's aging and criticizing her use of Botox and plastic surgery to stay youthful. I've seen people saying that her past lifestyle of living on the edge has cost her her beauty and now she's paying for it by getting work done to look good. Or that her Botox and plastic surgery makes her look worse than before, but again, I'm not really seeing a problem here. I don't really see a problem with anyone on this list. Again,
except for Phil. No offense, but come on, you see it too, right? Pam has also said that she enjoys aging, so I mean, the criticisms don't really have much effect on her anyway. So yeah, she's on this list for aging horribly, but that's just what the internet has said. I'm just here defending her. And finally, at number 1, Macaulay Culkin. In our top spot, we have Macaulay Culkin. Now, I know I just came in hot with the last person saying how none of these people on this list have aged too badly, but I have to make an exception with Macaulay here. First, he's on every list about bad aging. But also, I mean, he doesn't look remotely the same as he did in his early career. He went from looking like this cute little kid to a very rundown guy. He's had his grievances with being a child star, and obviously that caused a lot of pressure for him. Combined with his documented substance use, this bad combination created the Macaulay we have today. He's been in and out of the spotlight since coming out of his childhood acting days and seems to live a low-key life with former Disney star girlfriend Brenda Song. Macaulay is now 40, but he's looking at least 10 years older than he is. He has truly aged horribly, and he's not even that old. Starting us off at number 10, Cameron Diaz. Actress Cameron Diaz had a pretty successful career early on. Her breakout role was in the 1994 film The Mask starring Jim Carrey. She then went on to star in other acclaimed films like My Best Friend's Wedding, Shrek, and Charlie's Angels. Cameron experimented with a lot of different kinds of roles she played, from romantic comedies to dramas to action films. Cameron booked a lot of different roles in the beginning, but things certainly aren't that way anymore. There are a few reasons as to why people think that her career just hasn't aged well and why she stopped working. One reason is that people think that she was actually too successful in her early days and burnt out later down the road. Others think that it was because of her sudden decision to stick to her comfort zone when it comes to roles that broke her, since she used to hop between genres and was a fresh face for many types of films. Over the years, Cameron stuck to comedies and rom-coms, so she became tiresome on camera. Others think that it was the Shrek franchise that really did it in for her. Though the Shrek franchise is just chef's kiss level entertainment, with its spin-off holiday films and musicals. Yes, there was a musical, I was in it in high school, absolutely legendary. Critics believe that because Shrek stuck around for so long, it was hard for Cameron to crawl out of its shadow, and her career was never really able to recover from being Princess Fiona. I mean, if my career ended with Shrek, I think I'd be okay with it. In at number 9, Brad Pitt. Now, this aging might be considered a stretch, but it still counts, so I'm going with it. Sometimes in film and TV, makeup artists and the CGI editors have to make an actor or character look much older than they really are. Sometimes it's a cool transition, and other times the actor ends up looking a little worse for wear in their simulated old age. This is sort of the case with Brad Pitt from The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. In the film about a man who ages backwards, the production team had the task of aging Brad Pitt to make himself older and younger than he really was. Though the production and editing of Brad's older form was very well done and convincing, his actual older looks were questionable. Again, not because the production was bad, just because it made Brad look nearly unrecognizable. At his oldest, Benjamin's character looked sort of like a hairless cat. He was wrinkled and mostly bald and very thin. It's hard to think that a 43-year-old man was under all those special effects. It wasn't his best look, but it was one of his best roles. At number 8, Alicia Silverstone. Alicia Silverstone, known for her lead role in the 1995 film Clueless, began her film career in the mid-90s and continued making hit films for the rest of the decade into the early 2000s. Though her career started off with a bang and she was quickly brought into stardom, her fame didn't really last long, as over the years she's fallen into obscurity. Her first major fumble was from her role as Batgirl in the 1997 film Batman and Robin. She even won a Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actress. I mean, that's not a good award. Why do they have rewards for worst? That's just rubbing it in. Like, you tried your best. That's not nice. She's been in other productions, but she never quite hit as hard as she did in her early career. Though I don't think this really bothers her much, as she's revealed that she never wanted to be a movie star in the first place, if you can believe it. Alicia said that she was more of a theater nerd and never wanted the level of stardom that she found in her early years. It seems that as the years went on and the hype of her role in Clueless died down, Alicia shied away from the spotlight, resurfacing a few times, but mostly keeping to herself and her personal passions and projects. Coming in at 7, Hayley Atwell. Here's another instance of a celebrity whose on-screen aging didn't do them any favors. Hayley Atwell in her role as Peggy Carter in Captain America: Winter Soldier. In the film, we see Peggy Carter in her late 90s in her hospital bed suffering from Alzheimer's. As she was in her late 90s, obviously her physical appearance looked quite dated. She had silver hair, wrinkles, and age spots on her face and hands, another sign of old age. In the scene where we see Peggy and Steve Rogers interacting, the special effects have the actress looking nothing like her true self and was aged far beyond her years. I mean, for 90 plus, her character was looking well, but she still aged rather badly in regards to her health. As she had Alzheimer's, you could see how Peggy began to fade away as the degenerative disease took hold of her, and as she aged, it got worse. In at 6, Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's career was at its peak in the 2000s, but suddenly it imploded, leaving him with a bad rep in Hollywood and a less than ideal career. Tobey was made famous for his role as Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi trilogy. At the height of his career, Tobey was bringing the role of Peter Parker to life, making millions, and landing himself among Hollywood's A-list stars. But coming into 2007 and the third Spider-Man film in the series, things began to turn sour for the actor. Firstly, he began demanding more money from the studio. People believed that as he found more fame, his ego got larger as well, and he became more greedy and self-absorbed. Now, even though he was demanding more money, he was doing less work as he struggled with an injury on set, which prompted the need for doctors to be with Tobey at all times while filming. There was only so much that Tobey was able to do, even to the point where his doctors had to map out exactly how many steps Tobey was able to take in a scene. So this extravagant cost to pay both Tobey and his doctors added to the rest of the film's budget and added to its failure as it tanked at the box office when it was released. Obviously, this didn't help Tobey's career, and this combined with his gambling problem and bad attitude towards others, this landed him the name Bully Maguire and ultimately shunned from Hollywood. His career aged poorly with the evolution of his on-screen character as well as his off-screen persona. Halfway through at number 5, Keith Richards. I've seen a lot of sources say that Keith Richards has aged horribly. Some say that it was his rock and roll lifestyle that did it in for him and his looks, and others say that he just lost out in the gene department and that he just wasn't destined to age gracefully. I'm on the fence here. I honestly don't think he looks that bad. I mean, he could definitely look worse. If you watched part 1 of this video, then you remember how I talked about Prince Philip and how he's looking nowadays. It could always be worse. Now, Keith Richards, is he the most graceful ager? No, probably because of his usage in his younger rock and roll days. But has he stopped that kind of lifestyle? Yes, and I think he's gonna be fine. Right now he's 76 years old and he's still looking relatively young, so I think he's on the right track. I'd say he's about a 5 on the poor aging scale. Coming in at number 4, Mickey Rourke. Following Keith Richards, we have Mickey Rourke, and although I said that Keith was fine and things could be worse, I'm gonna have to bring this up as one of the worst cases with Mickey here. I wish I could say, oh Mickey, you're so fine, but I can't. He's had a lot of work done over the years to the point that he doesn't even look like himself anymore. At 68 years old, he's looking a little rough, not because he's an old wrinkled mess, but because he tried a little too hard to correct his aging with plastic surgery, and things went wrong. In his early career, he was praised for his baby face and boyish charm, but now, not so much. I think that the lesson we learn from celebrities like this is that sometimes it's just best to let the aging process happen. I mean, you wouldn't stop a fine wine or cheese from aging, would you? No, no way. Just let it happen, babes. It's a beautiful thing. At number 3, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has had a tumultuous career to say the least. Mel fell from grace and he fell hard. His career has aged worse than anyone else on this list by a landslide. Not only has he had a allegations against him, but he also has a history of anti-Semitism and racial aggressions. His career took a turn for the worse after years of buildup of his poor actions, but after the release of his religious film The Passions of the Christ, he was basically shut out of Hollywood for the remainder of his career. His film was criticized for its violence and anti-Semitic ideals. Because of his negative view by Hollywood executives, he struggled to book individual roles, and this has driven his career into the dirt. The only thing that really seems to be keeping his career intact is his directing. He's directed The Passions of the Christ, obviously, as well as Hacksaw Ridge, and now the sequel to the Passions film. So although he started off strong in the film industry, over time he's gone from hero to zero, and I don't think we will ever see a comeback. Coming in at number 2, Michael J. Fox. I'm including this one because he looked questionable at best. So in another iteration of celebrities who were aged for a role, we have Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future Part 2. In this film, we see Michael's character, Marty McFly, as a 47-year-old man in the year 2015. Now we're not going to talk about the fact that this movie made some wild predictions about how the year 2015 was going to look, because that is a whole other video. We're going to talk about how the makeup department did Michael so dirty when they aged him up. Obviously, McFly's aging was the result of makeup and not special effects, because you can kind of see it in his face, but still, they they made the guy look a little funky and not in a good way. They added prosthetics to his forehead and cheeks to give him more defined wrinkles and jowls, and they also receded his hairline, added grayed hairs, and made his eyebrows look the complete opposite of fleeky. Fox, who is now 59 years old in real life, looks much better and even much younger than his 47-year-old self in the film. I hope that back then when they were filming and they got him into his old man getup, that Michael didn't think that he'd actually look like this in the future, because that is so not true. Finally, into number 1, Michael Jackson. I'm sure we are all familiar with Michael Jackson's appearance later in his life. He went from being a good-looking guy with a thick afro to being a thin, pale man with thinning hair and skin. Most of the changes in his appearance were due to his health. His change in complexion was due to his vitiligo, and his thinning hair was due to age as well as chemical relaxing. He also got a lot of plastic surgery done, which didn't really aid in his appearance. The constant alterations done to his face in particular caused his skin to thin and wrinkle, which just added to the cycle of his work. And his infamous nose job changed the proportions of his face, which really made him look even bonier with his thin pointed nose. He kinda looked like the other mother from Coraline. If you know what I'm talking about, you get it. Over the years, Michael's appearance worsened with age as he tried to correct what time had caused, but really it just worsened its outcomes. The only thing that didn't age poorly about Michael was his musical abilities. Though his appearance and health deteriorated over the years, his talent stayed legendary.
In at number 10, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has been very open about her use of cosmetic procedures over the years. She even revealed in a 2013 memoir that she was done with surgery altogether, but that went out the window in 2019 when she revealed that she got another facelift, making it her 4th ever. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures. In 1999, she lost over 100 pounds after she underwent gastric bypass surgery. She also spent $120,000 on a facelift, tummy tuck, eye lift, abdominoplasty, liposuction, and Botox as well. In 2007, Sharon admitted that at that time, she had spent roughly $530,000 on cosmetic procedures in total. She's openly said in the past, quote, "There's not much I haven't tweaked, stretched, peeled, lasered, veneered, enhanced, or removed altogether." And of course, all her procedures have changed her appearance drastically. And at number 9, Julie Chen. Julie Chen is known as the host of the hit show Big Brother. She revealed to The Talk in 2013 that in the start of her career, she decided to have eye surgery that would make her eyes appear larger. Apparently, when she was starting out, she wasn't able to get an agent because they said her Asian eyes did not look good on TV. This pushed her to get an eyelid surgery, which she does not regret. When speaking about the procedure, she said, quote, "No one's more proud of being Chinese than I am. Every decision I've made, it got me to where I am today, and I'm not going to look back." And at number 8, Heidi Montag. The reality star went from girl next door to Hollywood Barbie after she got a number of plastic surgery procedures that made her unrecognizable. She even risked her life to have 10 procedures in one single day. Just some of the procedures that she underwent were a brow lift, a nose job, lipo on her stomach and thighs, and a butt augmentation. But after all her surgeries, she revealed that she regrets the decision, and she ended up having health problems because of all the stress to her body. She told Us Weekly in 2013, quote, "I just didn't realize what I was really signing up for. It just sounds so minor when you have a surgeon describing so much of it to you, like okay, great, a little of this, a little of that. You're not told the recovery time and the mental strain it will put on you and the long term." And at number 7, Kylie Jenner. Anyone with eyes can see that Kylie Jenner has had a dramatic change in her appearance over the last few years, and it seems that she has underwent cosmetic procedures in an attempt to look more like her sister Kim. In 2016, after months of denying, she finally revealed that she received lip fillers. She even revealed to Allure that at one point she regretted her full lips. She told her sister Kim, quote, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point," adding, "Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Kylie has not admitted to any other procedures, but it's widely speculated that she's gotten filler in her cheeks and chin, along with a Brazilian butt lift and breast implants. And at number 6, Katie Price. British model Katie Price has been open about her many plastic surgery procedures that have changed her face considerably over the years, but she recently revealed that she regrets a lot of it, and at one point she felt like a monster. Katie has told media outlets that she received a full body liposuction under her chin, and fat injected into her bum. Apparently after one round of procedures, she was told she needed a blood transfusion, but she was too scared of getting COVID to get one. At one point she was regretting it all, asking herself, "What the F have I done? Honestly, I've gone to hell and back, it was horrific. Oh my god, I look like a monster out of a horror movie." She also revealed that she lost count of how many jobs that she's had over the years, saying it's around 12. Katie says she was all natural until she turned 30. Now she has almost everything done. Halfway at number 5, Nikki Cox. Actress Nikki Cox was one of the hottest stars in TV in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but her career faded after some botched cosmetic procedures. The biggest difference seems to be her large lips and tight face. Some paparazzi photos of her were leaked in 2013, showing her looking much different than the woman that we had seen on screen, and many outlets called her botched and unrecognizable. One plastic surgeon gave his opinion on her look. He speculated that she didn't go under the knife, but claimed her shocking look is due to botched filler. And at number 4, Donatella Versace. Donatella got her fame through running high-end fashion brand Versace with her late brother Gianni. And in the decades since she's been a public figure, her face has changed considerably. Most would say for the worse. Over time, she's become unrecognizable, with her nose and lips changing the most. It's gotten so bad that Donatella has landed herself on pretty much every worst plastic surgery list that there is. Donatella has only admitted to getting Botox, nothing more, so she hasn't admitted to regretting any of her procedures. When asked about her different look, she said, quote, "I'm not like this genetically. I use tons of cream and take care of my hair and skin." And at number 3, Ronnie Ortiz Magro. Back in the day, the men of Jersey Shore were known for their chiseled abs and tan skin. But as time has gone on, the men have not been able to keep up with their strict diet and workout regimen, and they've lost the six-packs that they were known for. In 2019, Ronnie revealed he underwent liposuction to enhance his six-pack after welcoming his daughter Ariana the year before. While he was on the show called The Doctors, he said, quote, "A year ago to the day, my life completely changed. I had a little baby girl, she's like my guardian angel, and now I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym every day like I used to." The procedure was a laser high-definition liposuction of the abdomen, which defined the area around his six-pack. And at number 2, Dolores Catania. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star went through multiple plastic surgeries since she became a star. She admitted to getting tummy tuck surgery, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. She revealed it actually put a strain on her relationship because her boyfriend did not support it at first. On the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, she said, quote, "He was really angry. He was so mad at me and he didn't let up on it. I let him be mad for a little while, and then I had to say, listen, you either live with it or we just have to move on." And finally at number 1, Larissa dos Santos Lima. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed an entirely new look in September of 2020 after she allegedly spent $72,000 on cosmetic enhancements. These procedures included a nose job, liposuction, and breast and butt augmentation. She spoke about the procedures on an episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, where she said, quote, "I lose weight, I did butt to make it bigger, I did Botox, I did my nose, I did my lips, I did my cheekbones, I did my chin. I am a new woman and I feel very happy." With all the cosmetic enhancements, she looks unrecognizable from how she looked before the show. And at number 10, Paul Stanley. The Kiss frontman looks very different now than when the band was in its height, and people think the change is due to cosmetic procedures. It's rumored that he had a nose job, facelift, along with other fillers and Botox. Some evidence also suggests he may have underwent an eyebrow lift and a lip job. Stanley has only admitted to one procedure, and that was an ear reconstructive surgery. He got this because he was born with the condition microtia, which caused him to not have a right ear. While speaking with SiriusXM's Jim and Sam video interviews, Stanley also admitted to having his rotator cuffs repaired, along with a hip replacement and cartilage repaired in his knees, but nothing related to his appearance. And at number 9, Michaela Romanini. For many years, she was one of Italy's biggest stars and was titled one of the most beautiful women in the country, but after getting many cosmetic procedures, she was left looking completely unrecognizable from her former self. We're not sure exactly what procedures that she's gotten, but it's clear her lips, eyes, and skin look drastically different. Some media outlets even say she looks like an alien. But even with all the criticism around her looks, she apparently does not regret any of her procedures. Some reports even claim she is now addicted to surgery, specifically lip collagen injections. And at number 8, Kenny Rogers. The late Kenny Rogers decided to undergo cosmetic surgery, and it changed his appearance so drastically that it really hurt his confidence. He told CBS host Gayle King in 2012, quote, "I was trying to hide myself. I had the money to do it and I had time off. It was one of those things that I think everybody's like, you look at yourself and you go, could I be better if I did this or I did that?" Adding that he regrets doing anything, and he's always very curious as to what he would have looked like without it. He also said that the changes in his appearance did not affect his music or singing voice, but rather his confidence confidence to get on stage and make music. He even cancelled some shows during his 2018 farewell tour because he was battling health challenges, which some speculated was due to the surgeries. His worst procedure was a botched eyelid lift. He said about the procedure in 2006, quote, "I'm not happy about it. It drives me crazy." And at number 7, Joan Rivers. The late Joan Rivers is a comedy legend, and she's been very open about the countless cosmetic procedures she underwent through the years. Just some of the procedures that she's admitted to include a facelift, neck lift, and eyelid surgery. However, she passed away at the age of 81 due to complications with a cosmetic procedure. Her daughter Melissa spoke about the tragedy in a memoir that she wrote about her mother called The Book of Joan: Tales of Mirth, Mischief, and Manipulation. In the book, Melissa states that Joan received 348 cosmetic procedures over her lifetime because she was always insecure about her looks. Melissa also appeared on the Today Show and spoke about her mother's tragic death following complications during a throat surgery, saying, quote, "In my opinion, it was 100% preventable." Melissa actually filed a lawsuit against the clinic, saying they were not prepared and very unprofessional. And at number 6, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley has no signs of aging on her face, even though she is 76 years old, but she does look completely unrecognizable from her former self. Some say this is due to botched procedures over the years. A few years back, she revealed that low-grade silicone was injected into her face, the type that mechanics use to grease car parts. This was done by fraudulent doctor, Dr. Daniel Serrano, who was later sent to prison for his illegal tactics. A rep for Priscilla said, quote, "Priscilla Presley was one of many documented victims of Dr. Serrano. An investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Ms. Presley dealt with this matter years ago and everything is now well." However, one doctor does not think the botched injections explain her puffy, waxy face, and he insisted that this is due to repeated laser treatments and Botox. One commenter wrote about her look, quote, "What has Priscilla Presley done to her face? It looks like she has a scary mask on." Halfway number 5, Jackie Stallone. The late mother of A-list actor Sylvester Stallone revealed that she had many plastic surgery regrets in a 2013 interview. When asked if she had had work done, she said, quote, "I do, and actually I've gotten too much. I look like I've got a mouthful of nuts. It's Juvederm, too much of it. I feel as though I look like a chipmunk." She continued, "Juvederm plumps you up here," pointing at her cheeks, "but it looks like you have a mouthful of walnuts." She then explained that she's had about 3 chemical peels and about 50 injections over her lifetime. She revealed that she had never tried Botox because naturally she did not have wrinkles in her forehead. Jackie claims that she believes in plastic surgery, but thinks that Beverly Hills doctors are overrated hacks, saying that she went to other states to have work done because she doesn't trust Beverly Hills surgeons. And at number 4, Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell shocked fans when he appeared at the red carpet for the America's Got Talent quarterfinals, looking totally unrecognizable. His face was discussed at length in the media, and on the Absolute Radio Breakfast show, Dave Barry said, quote, "I remember Simon Cowell when he had his first face. I've known him a long time. The current one is a bit Slipknot. It's actually quite terrifying," with the host noting that his surgery was probably done in the dark if it came out that badly, and that a man with his money should have gotten the best surgeon in the world. After stepping out, Dr. Naila Raja, a leading cosmetic doctor, said that he had gone a bit overboard with the Botox, adding quote, "I suspect Simon's fallen complexion is a combination of weight loss and also too much Botox." And at number 3, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is the sister that gets the most flack for her cosmetic enhancements, because it seems like she looks different every week. While speaking about rumors about her plastic surgery, she told host Andy Cohen that she's had one nose job, along with fillers, but not Botox. Years earlier on her talk show Cocktails with Khloe, she also admitted to having facial fillers dissolved, saying, quote, "My face was so messed up I had to go and get this whole thing dissolved. It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like, I swear things are still in my face." Although people don't believe she hasn't touched fillers because her face has changed dramatically since then. And at number 2, Lisa Rinna. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star is known for her signature pout that she achieved through the help of fillers, but she's gotten some other procedures that she's regretted. Apparently after she tried Botox, she was totally botched. Lisa said that she got Botox in her cheeks because all of her friends were getting it done and she wanted to try it out for herself. But after the procedure was done, Lisa said, quote, "I saw a photo and I was like, oh Jesus, that's not good, that is not good." But after that experience, she's learned that less is more, saying that she still likes Botox, but won't do anything that changes the shape of her face. And finally, at number 1, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is my queen and I love her so much, but it's clear to her fans that she's changed a lot over the years, and she's been vocal that the changes are due to cosmetic enhancements. She told CBS Sunday Morning in 2019, quote, "It's true that I look artificial, but I believe that I'm totally real. My look is really based on a country girl's idea of glam. I wasn't naturally pretty, so I make the most of anything I've got." Dolly's admitted to many procedures, including a facelift, eye surgery, breast implants, liposuction, excess skin removal, lip injections, Botox, and more. Dolly also looks phenomenal at her age of 75 and says that she will look as young as her plastic surgeons allow.
At number 10, Carrot Top. American comedian Carrot Top is pretty well known for his signature looks. With his bright orange hair and crazy expressions, no one can mistake him, that's for sure. However, over the years there's been speculation that the comedian has undergone a few cosmetic surgeries that have him looking a little different, some saying that he's actually been botched, but the overall consensus is that he looks pretty unrecognizable. Though he's denied ever having received plastic surgery and mostly credits his looks to his gym habits, there are others out there who think that there's something a little artificial that the comedian has been hiding from his fans, because though his body is different from working out, his face has been altered as well. It is believed that the comedian has received an eyebrow lift, Botox injections, lip filler, and laser peels, which many people see as the reasons his freckles are less evident. Because of the fillers and lifts, a lot of people think his face has been left looking a little too stiff and a little too fake.
In at number 9, Lara Flynn Boyle. Boyle was stunning in the 90s when she acted on shows like Twin Peaks and The Practice, but in the early 2000s her look started changing drastically, specifically her lips. Over time her face started to look very unnatural and nobody wanted to cast her anymore. Boyle commented before her procedures that she was scared of aging as she knew she would lose work, but her botched procedures are what have actually blacklisted her from the industry. In 2010, Paul S. Nassif told the Daily Mail, quote, "Lara Flynn Boyle appears to have had a rhinoplasty, lip augmentation, Botox, facial fillers, and possibly a brow lift and facelift," also saying she should refrain from any more procedures. Another plastic surgeon agreed, telling the outlet that she had gone overboard with the fillers for her cheeks and lips.
At number 8, Jocelyn Wildenstein. When you look up the most drastic celebrity appearances, a photo of Jocelyn Wildenstein will no doubt appear in your search. Her looks are a prime example of someone taking plastic surgery too far and looking nothing like they did before. Though she was a model back in the day, too much plastic surgery has altered her appearance forever, to the point where she's mostly plastic, mostly botched, and looks like a completely different person. Jocelyn apparently started changing her appearance to make her husband happy, and she even modeled her look after big cats because her late husband was a big cat lover. She reportedly kept a lynx as a pet, and she said that she thought that the big cat's eyes were so perfect she wanted to look just like it. Unfortunately, she went too far with her look. Over the years she's gotten surgery on her eyes to make them look more cat-like, as well as receiving brow and facelifts, injections, implants, and more. She's loved looking nothing like how she did before all of the surgery, with her entire face being remade into something completely new and unnatural. Even though her appearance is quite drastic, Jocelyn has said that she's not done altering her looks. At number 6, Dana Delaney. Getting Botox is a pretty common thing these days. Getting injectables seems to be the newest trend, probably because it's one of the least invasive plastic surgery procedures that you can receive. But just because it's not considered a major procedure, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no risk, and Desperate Housewives actress Dana Delaney can tell you all about it. Dana opened up about one of the worst procedures that she's received that completely changed her face. In 2003, Dana decided to go in and receive some Botox injections after her dermatologist convinced her to try it out, and when she went in for the procedure, things went horribly wrong when the doctor performing the procedure injected the needle into the wrong place in her forehead and actually caused quite a bit of damage. When he injected the syringe into her forehead, the needle ended up striking a nerve. This then created a huge hematoma, and it actually ended up killing the nerve that was struck. Unfortunately for Dana, this mistake was pretty serious because it ended up affecting the muscle in her right eye, which caused her eye to begin to droop down slightly. Dana spoke out about the experience, saying, quote, "I noticed it more than anybody else, but I was symmetrical before and now I'm not." End quote. This made her look pretty unrecognizable since it literally changed the symmetry of her face.
Halfway at number 5, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid was voted the most beautiful person in the world at one point, but it's hard to believe she's all natural. Bella never talks about the work she's had done, but from before and after pictures it's clear that she's had a lot of enhancements. During a 2018 interview, she responded to comments about her plastic surgery, saying, quote, "People think I got all this surgery or did this or that, and you know what? We can do a scan of my face, darling. I'm scared of putting fillers into my lips. I wouldn't want to mess up my face." But with the before and afters that we have, it's hard to claim that it's all puberty. The most common surgeries that have been rumored are a nose job, cat eye, eyebrow lift, and either fillers or surgery to sharpen her face.
At number 4, Priscilla Presley. This is by far the worst plastic surgery story out there because not only did Priscilla end up botched, but she also drastically changed her looks. Priscilla Presley, the wife of the late Elvis Presley, suffered through a plastic surgery nightmare when she went in to receive injectables from a very unreliable source. Priscilla had begun dabbling in plastic surgery, undergoing a few procedures such as injections and facelifts, but when she fell victim to an unlicensed cosmetic surgeon, that's when things got really bad. This unlicensed professional gave Priscilla injections in her cheeks and used products and techniques that were unapproved. To make matters worse, it turned out that the silicone that this so-called doctor used on Priscilla was not medical grade and was instead a substance similar to that which mechanics use for car parts. Thankfully, Priscilla got justice against this doctor, and the individual who performed these procedures got jail time, but sadly Priscilla as well as a handful of other people were left as botched victims of this mad doctor, and Priscilla's looks were never the same.
And at number 3, LaToya Jackson. LaToya Jackson has had major plastic surgery over the years. It's to a point that her past self is completely unrecognizable. The most noticeable procedure LaToya's had is a nose job. It was reported in 2017 that she was allegedly one nose job away from completely losing her nose. Experts say that the outer flare of her nostrils have been overly narrowed to a point of near disappearance. Another doctor even claimed that every surgery that LaToya gets in the future carries the risk of her face collapsing due to all the damage from past procedures. Her skin tone is also much lighter than before, and it's rumored that she has bleached her skin.
At number 2, Mickey Rourke. For a long time, people have made some pretty harsh comments about Mickey Rourke's face. In his early career, he was praised for having a baby face and boyish charm, but now, not so much. A lot of people believe that he doesn't look anything like he used to, and a lot of that has to do with his botched plastic surgery. Mickey has spoken out about his altered appearance, saying that boxing is really what caused things to go downhill for him. Because he went in for reconstructive surgery from things that had been damaged through boxing, his face has never been the same. Speaking further on this, Mickey said, quote, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. I had my nose broken twice, I had 5 operations on my nose, and 1 on a smashed cheekbone." End quote. If Mickey had gone to someone else for these procedures, maybe things would have been different.
And finally, number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B started out as a reality TV star and turned into a Grammy-winning rapper. Since she's been in the spotlight for so long, it's clear she's gone under the knife to change how she looks. She's not hiding it either. Cardi often talks about her surgeries. She was even forced to put some of her concerts on hold to recover from plastic surgery. She had complications from liposuction and was still in the process of recovering from breast implants, so her feet started to swell uncontrollably, making her unable to perform. When critics called her lazy for getting the lipo, she said she doesn't have time to work out. Cardi has also gotten implants in her butt to give her an hourglass figure, and it's speculated that she's gotten some Botox and filler as well.
Number 10. Mia Jovovich. The action star, best known for her role as Alice in the much debated Resident Evil series, is arguably one of the most gorgeous zombie slayers of all time. First stunning audiences with her beauty in the film The Fifth Element as Lilu, who it turns out, spoiler alert, is the Fifth Element. Mind blown. The image of a bright orange-haired alien beauty has been burned into the memory of anyone who has seen that movie, which is why it's quite jarring to see her on the street nowadays. A photo was recently captured by paparazzi showing Mia with a punk rock buzz cut and cut jean shorts. Now while this may just be a temporary hairstyle, this is far from the Mia that we're used to seeing on screen. I mean, look at that. It looks like she saw someone mowing their lawn and was like, hey, could you take a little off the top, please? We hope that as time goes on, Mia will regress back into her Lilu days. Lilu. Number 9, Zac Efron. The former Disney Channel star has been considered a Hollywood hottie for most of his career, starring in many films like Neighbors, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, and even trying his hand at more serious roles with movies like Charlie St. Cloud and Gold. While Zach was aging gracefully for the most part, many fans started speculating that he may have received some kind of facial reconstructive surgery following an appearance on Bill Nye's Earth Day musical on Facebook, where fans claimed that he looked like he had just been stung by a bee or something. Well, after a year of speculation, it turned out that there was some truth to that theory. You see, he hadn't undergone surgery. In fact, the actor's facial differences were due to a jaw injury he had sustained in 2013. Zach broke his jaw and had to have his mouth wired shut after he was running through his house with socks on, slipped, and went face first into a granite fountain. Hey man, we've all been there. Apparently, he had been undergoing physical therapy for the incident for quite some time, but had recently stopped going, which caused his face to kind of puff up. This doesn't help the situation, however, as Efron was recently spotted on set for a new biographical film called The Iron Claw, in which he plays the titular wrestler. For this role, Efron bulked up significantly, now making the rest of him look like he was stung by a hornet, and is sporting a haircut reminiscent of Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. Hopefully the movie will be so good that it's worth that bowl cut. Number 8. Madonna. Madonna has surely gotten stuck in your head before, with classic radio hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You still being played at dance clubs worldwide. Now, what may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 80s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times almost channeling Marilyn Monroe's energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase these major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. We can only imagine what she may have looked like if she had not gone the surgery, but would she still be a material girl, or would that material be moth-ridden and covered in coffee stains? Who knows? Number 7. Macaulay Culkin. Culkin broke our hearts when he made his first on-screen appearance as Little Thomas in the movie My Girl, and he continued to entertain us over the next few years, being a part of blockbuster hits like the Home Alone franchise and Richie Rich. His career seemed to be on an upward climb, ensuring that he would have work well into his adult years, but it turns out that life had other plans for Macaulay. Between the years of 2003 to 2019, Culkin had remained fairly reserved in the Hollywood eye, only appearing in a few low-budget passion projects or straight-to-video films. It may have been because the once young and fresh Culkin was now in his early 20s and he was not playing by the rules. A mugshot of Culkin made headlines in 2004 when he was arrested for possessions of a controlled substance without a prescription, following a routine inspection of his vehicle. Rumors of Culkin's substance issues arose as the actor was later seen appearing frail and as if he hadn't eaten in weeks. Many people were concerned for Culkin's health, but he later revealed in an interview in 2021 that he'd finally gotten a hold of his issues and he was on track to recovery and looking much better. Right on, Lil Mac. Number 6. Mickey Rourke. The big man, Mickey Rourke, has been a prolific actor for quite some time, making his major motion debut in the 1986 romantic drama 9.5 Weeks Later as John Gray, a Wall Street trader who falls for an art gallery assistant and escalates that situation very quickly. Back in the day, he was cast as the handsome leading man or heartthrob for the most part, but since receiving massive amounts of plastic surgery and lip fillers in the early 2000s, he looks more like a clay model of his former self, admitting in 2017 that his ever-changing face was due to botched surgeries conducted to mend his boxing scars. I don't know much about boxing and I no longer intend to. He's since appeared in such blockbuster hits like Iron Man 2 as the villain Whiplash and Sin City as a scarred-up trenchcoat wearing bad boy named Marv. So it's far from the soft-faced Mickey that your parents once probably had a poster of on their wall. I didn't. What? Stop talking. Next, number 5. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer made his name a staple when he starred in the beloved classic fantasy film Willow as Matt Mardigan, a swordsman who spends the movie protecting the titular baby from evil forces. Personally, he made a staple in my head as being the Batman that beat up Jim Carrey, but we won't get into that. Over the years, Kilmer has aged gracefully, being the leading man type over and over again, seemingly casted because of his looks over his acting chops, which many consider to be stiff. Well, much like Mickey Rourke, Kilmer's roles began to shift from leading strong type to the dark and silent bad guy. I mean, just look at this headshot. He looks like an evil scientist trying to invite you into his mansion to show you his collection of animal skulls. Honestly, I think I'd watch that movie. Number 4, Cher. Ever since rising to fame in the 1960s, Cher has been absolutely slaying it in the world of pop music, rocking her own solo career and collaborating with several musicians over the years. Her style and voice will definitely not be a stranger to you, unless of course you've seen her lately. Now, don't get me wrong, she's absolutely stunning and has put in a lot of work to stay healthy and happy in her personal life, but over the years, Cher has been open about having numerous amounts of surgeries done, including lip fillers, receiving Botox in her cheeks, leaving her in a constant state of, really? Despite having negative experiences with her surgeries, reportedly even receiving a certain augmentation that went horribly wrong, she still continues to undergo the knife to this day. For all we know, she might be under right now. Whoa. Number 3, Celine Dion. Celine Dion is just one of many Canadian treasures that have been unleashed on this world. Growing up in Charlemagne, Quebec, Dion began performing at a very young age and quickly garnered international fame for her incredible voice and her larger-than-life performance style. With legendary hits like My Heart Will Go On from the film Titanic and the song Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, Celine is sure to have been rattling around in your head at least a few times over the years. Unfortunately, the once youthful and larger-than-life performer has not aged well over the years. While she has never received plastic surgery of any kind, you go girl, the latest photos show Celine appearing to be void of any body fat whatsoever, causing her to appear almost skeletal sometimes. We hope that this is simply a case of age ruling its ugly head and not something more serious. Good luck, Celine. Number 2, David Krumholtz. David's face may be familiar to many of you as Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus franchise. David has been acting for quite some time though, making appearances over the years in shows like Freaks and Geeks and Mom. He's also familiar to many for his more raunchy performances, working in films like Harold and Kumar as well as several collaborations with Seth Rogen. In his youth, Krumholtz was often typecast as the young, squishy-faced good guy with a little bit of a bad boy streak. Unfortunately, as time went on, the actor appeared to be struggling with his weight, appearing to gain and lose it very rapidly. For example, in the HBO series The Deuce, David plays a character named Harvey Wasserman, who in season 1 weighed just over 300 pounds, but when he appeared in season 2's premiere, he weighed just barely 100 pounds. Now this constant back and forth shift cannot be healthy for anybody. As seen in recent photos, it looks like this back and forth is seriously starting to take a toll on the Deuce. Number 1, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is the Gladiator Maximus to many people, a role that he portrayed in the 2000 film Gladiator. It was a commanding and brutal performance from Crowe, astonishing crowds worldwide and creating a massive buzz for what this man might do next. In Gladiator, Crowe was tough and built like a brick house. As time went on, those bricks seemed to be turning into rubble, because Crowe began appearing more and more with what we can only describe as the daddest of bods, growing a big lumberjack beard and gut to go with it. This change was emphasized in Thor Love and Thunder, released in 2022, when Crowe played the god Zeus, and instead of appearing as he does in lore as a massive, muscular lightning god, he just looks like someone's dad dressed up for a frat party that he was not invited to.
Starting off our list at number 10 is J-Lo. She has and always will be a triple threat, showing off her skills all at once, acting, dancing, and singing. You would never be able to tell that in a month from now, she's going to be turning 50 years old. Not only does her face look like it did 20 years ago, but her body is also in incredible shape. The woman can dance like the 20-year-olds you see hitting the clubs every Saturday night. She became a mom of 2 back in 2008 when she had her twins, a boy named Max and a girl named Emmy. It's hard enough to believe she's turning 50, let alone knowing she performs worldwide tours while being a mom of 2 and also 2 other half-children, so basically a mom of 4. During an interview with People magazine, she was asked about how she looks so young. She said, "I try to always get as much sleep as I can so that I can start the day well rested and do my morning meditation and affirmations." She went on to say that she uses sunscreen and exercises regularly. She's known for her beauty and her talent, but also known for her J-Glow. Yes, people have now nicknamed her for her young, radiant looking skin. They call it the J-Glow. At number 9 is Mario Lopez. He is an actor but also an entertainment journalist, appearing on several TV series, in many movies, and also on Broadway. He had his first big break when he took on the role of AC Slater on the hit TV series Saved by the Bell. He quickly became a Hollywood heartthrob, and he has kept the title ever since, mainly because his appearance hasn't changed one bit and he still looks like he did on the 1989 TV show. Mario is is now 45 years old and is a father of 2. People have made an ongoing joke about the fact he hasn't aged, calling him a vampire online. They compare his natural glow to the vampire Edward Cullen, the shimmer he gets when he steps into the sunlight. Fans say he always has the perfect bronze complexion. He has somehow managed to be 45, a father of 2, wrinkle-free, tanned, and jacked. Sliding into spot number 8 is Julia Roberts. The actress first found her way into the spotlight when she starred in the romantic comedy Pretty Woman back in 1990. From there, she went on to be one of the highest paid actors at the time and has won numerous multiple Golden Globe and Academy Awards throughout her career. Not only is her acting resume impressive, but so is whatever skincare routine she is using. No one would be able to tell that she's 51 years old simply by looking at her. She is a mother of 3 and has somehow kept her same thin figure, and her skin hasn't aged one bit. Many would point the finger and say that she's had work done, but the actress prides herself in the fact that she hasn't. During an interview, she said, "By Hollywood standards, I guess I've taken a big risk in not having had a facelift." When asked about her tips and tricks, there is one thing she swears by, and that is using a daily moisturizer that has sunscreen in it. Noted. Going to buy some right after I finish filming this. Taking our number 7 spot is Sandra Bullock, another incredibly talented actress who is like twice my age yet somehow looks better than me. Back in 2010 and 2014, she was the highest paid actress in the world and also received the title of People's Most Beautiful Woman. I mean, there is no surprise, just look at her. Believe it or not, she is actually 54 years old now. It's almost been 20 years since the actress pretended to be a beauty pageant contestant in the movie Miss Congeniality, but realistically, she could still play the role. She keeps herself young by facials and a regular fitness routine. When asked about it, she said, "I do Pilates, kickboxing, weight training, and when I'm at home, run or ride a bike. If I can work out every day, I will." When it comes to her face, she makes sure she stays on top of her daily skin routine, but it's said that she is a huge fan of LED light facials too. In at number 6 is Elijah Wood. The actor won the hearts of many people when he took on the role of Frodo in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy and then in The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. He was only 18 years old when playing the part, and most of his other Hobbit cast members were much older than him. But even at 18, he looked like he was only 14 years old. One could say he has had a baby face the majority of his career, and people are curious how the now 38-year-old still looks like the little Hobbit that we all fell in love with. Minus the bit of facial hair, he still rocks his bright blue eyes and baby face. The actor is aware that he looks much younger than his actual age and opened up about it while on the Conan talk show. He admitted that he still gets asked for ID when it comes to drinking. Not only that, but all the memes floating around about the resemblance between him and Daniel Radcliffe have left the actor always proving himself to other people. There is a gif going around that turns the one actor into the other simply by an eyebrow raise basically. It is actually crazy to see the similarities between the two of them. Apparently fans mistake them for one another in public all the time, but I feel like they could have some fun with that. Halfway through at number 5 is Angelina Jolie. The 44-year-old actress looks very similar to when she first began her career. She is incredibly successful in her career, being named Hollywood's highest paid actress on multiple occasions. Not only that, but for a number of years she was cited as the world's most beautiful woman by media outlets. Only one can wonder how she looks so good with a busy schedule and being a mom of 6. Yes, 6. She has 3 children with Brad Pitt, and then they adopted 3 on top of their own. Anyone would tell her how incredible she looks for her age, but the actress opened up during an interview and said she is embracing her signs of aging. During an interview with InStyle back in 2018, she said, "I also see myself aging, and I love it because it means I'm alive. I'm living and getting older. Don't love having a random dark spot from a pregnancy, sure. I see my flaws, but what I see that I like isn't about a structure or an appearance. It's more that I see my family in my face, I see my age." Well, I hope to God I look half as good as she does at 44, 3 childbirths later. And for the record, I am not seeing any of these aging or flaws that she mentioned. She looks amazing. Here we are at number 4 with Tyra Banks. It's hard to believe that it's been 19 years since we saw her debut in movies like Coyote Ugly and the iconic Disney Channel movie Life Size. It's only hard to believe because she hasn't aged a damn day. Literally, she looks the exact same. The best part is that the actress agrees with us on this one. In 2018, she posted a picture on Instagram of a side-by-side comparison of a picture from the 2000 movie Coyote Ugly and a picture of her now. She simply captioned the picture, Boom. The actress is now 45 years old, but you would never know unless you googled it. Not only is she an actress, but she's also one of the world's biggest supermodels of her time. Not only has her face remained in prime condition, but check out that bod. Alright guys, at number 3 is Daniel Radcliffe. I think it's only fair that he makes this list since Elijah Wood did, and they are practically twin brothers. The beloved Harry Potter is all grown up. I'm not saying that he's old, but he's old when we compare him to the wizard kid we once knew him as. He is now 29 years old, which is hard for fans to believe since we have this Harry Potter character engraved in our minds. He was only 11 years old when he first got cast to take on the role, which would make you think he's gotta look old by now. But he doesn't. Sure, he looks older, but not old. He is just another actor who has incredible skincare or incredible genes. Radcliffe has made headlines before about his struggle with alcohol abuse, which you would think might take a toll on someone's appearance, but apparently not for him. He said one of the ways he keeps himself young is by not having social media accounts. Taking our number 1 spot is Jennifer Aniston, because she is famously known for basically not aging a day since 1995. Her career first took off when she was cast in her iconic role of Rachel on the TV show Friends. She has always been incredibly beautiful, which is why she is always asked about her beauty secrets and workout routines. In 2016, it was no surprise that she was named the world's most beautiful woman by People magazine. Her skin is constantly glowing, and she shares some of her tips, saying that she drinks a ton of water and that her diet and exercise routine definitely plays a part in her skin too. She admits that she goes to the spa to get treatments and facials, but says that the daily routine is most important. In 2017, she told Allure magazine, "I really wish we could shift our perspective on aging as a negative, because it's happening to every single one of us. We just need to be very good to our skin, keep it healthy, and keep it tended to, as we tend to our cars, our appliances, and everything else we tend to." Her top 3 aging tips are water, sleep, and sunscreen. There seems to be a pattern here with sunscreen on this list, so I might need to take that a little more seriously.
At number 10, Amanda Lepore. American model and socialite Amanda Lepore is one person who isn't shy at all about the plastic surgeries that she's had. The transgender model, performer, and now author, who made a name for herself in Hollywood just by being herself, altered a lot of her body over the years, and she's even claimed to have the most expensive body on earth due to all of her surgeries. She's written and talked about all of the procedures she's had done, and it's quite a long list. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. She's taken her body to the limit and back again. There came a moment where she really overdid one of her procedures and got seriously botched. The drastic procedure that led her to getting botched was getting silicone lip injections, because she said that since she had gotten them done about 20 times and went a little overboard, she had to get them reduced because they just got way too big. A lot of people think that she's botched more than just her lips because of how drastic and plastic her looks are, but they're so out there that I think it's almost normal because that's just who she is, and if she's happy with it, then there's nothing left to say. At number 9, Zac Efron. Now this one isn't exactly a confirmed case of botched plastic surgery, but it sure is causing a lot of commotion because people think it might be. A lot of people have been throwing around a lot of speculation and concern regarding Zac Efron and his appearance. Zac recently showed up in a video about Earth Day looking pretty swollen, and a lot of people think that is the result of a plastic surgery gone wrong. In the video, the lower half of his face was looking very puffy, almost like he had gotten a lot of Botox done or some other kind of procedure, and a lot of people are super concerned that Zac might have taken his looks too far. According to one celebrity plastic surgeon, they think that it looks like Zac may have gotten fillers to reshape his jawline, or that he had actually gone under the knife and that there was some residual swelling going on. If that's the case, then we don't know if this puffy look is here to stay or not. It's all just a very sudden change that a lot of people weren't expecting, and a lot of people are just looking for answers. At number 8, Priscilla Caputo. Priscilla Caputo rose to fame for being botched, so I feel like she's perfect for this list. Back in the day, Priscilla was an aspiring model, but her modeling career was very short-lived because she took her looks too far and got botched, stopping her career dead in its tracks. She was left an internet laughingstock, gaining fame because she had gone too far with her appearance, and now she's an advocate against getting plastic surgery. Priscilla explained that her boyfriend, who was a plastic surgeon, kept giving her lip fillers, and soon she became addicted and couldn't stop. Her lips became too big, and because of her appearance, her modeling career tanked. After her photos were circulated online, she became an internet laughingstock, and she couldn't go back and fix her lips because she had injected so much into them that she permanently stretched them out, and the damage was just too much to repair. In a way, her modeling career turned her into an example of what not to do when getting injections. At number 7, Donatella Versace. Even though she's the head of the Versace company, Donatella Versace's appearance has her looking a little worse for wear, as she's become an example of what happens when getting plastic surgery makes you look worse rather than better. Because of the amount of procedures Donatella has received over the years, many people have said that she's been botched. She's been criticized a lot for her heavy plastic surgery and Botox use, with some people even making comparison diagrams of her look from back in '97 when she took over the Versace company after the death of her brother to now in 2021. Some say that because of all the work she's had done in an attempt to make her look younger, these procedures have made her appearance worse because the Botox and fillers she received over the years has damaged her skin. Some plastic surgeons have commented on Donatella's appearance, saying that as a result of all the fillers, nips, and tucks, her skin's elasticity has broken, leading her to looking older. Because of this, she'd want to continue getting Botox, and so the cycle continues. The more work she has done, the worse her skin gets, and as a result, it leads her to looking more and more botched. At number 6, Carrot Top. American comedian Carrot Top is pretty well known for his signature looks. With his bright orange hair and crazy expressions, no one can mistake him, that's for sure. However, over the years, there's been speculation that the comedian has undergone a few cosmetic surgeries that have him looking a little different, and some say that he's been botched. Though he's denied ever having received plastic surgery and mostly credits his looks to his gym habits, there are others out there who believe that there's something a little artificial that the comedian has been hiding from his fans. It's believed that the comedian has received an eyebrow lift, Botox injections, lip filler, and laser peels, which many people see as the reason that his freckles are less evident. Because of the fillers and lifts, a lot of people think that his face has been left looking a little too stiff and fake, leading fans to label him as botched. But what do you guys think? Is he botched or not? At number 5, Jennifer Grey. Imagine watching your career tank after getting plastic surgery. Well, that's what happened with actress Jennifer Grey, as getting a nose job was one of the worst mistakes of her career. Jennifer Grey became super well known after her role in Dirty Dancing, but after her rhinoplasty, things went south. She wasn't necessarily botched from the surgery itself, as everything went according to plan, but maybe things just went a little too well. After getting surgery, her nose looked very different to how it looked before, and it completely changed her face. As a result, Jennifer found herself struggling to book roles and getting less and less work. Everyone knew her for her face, but since it changed, she became almost unrecognizable, and that wasn't good for her career. When speaking out about the procedure, she called it the quote, nose job from hell, because it pretty much just botched her career. She thought that altering her nose would make things better for her, but instead it made things worse. At number 4, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox, best known for her iconic role as Monica Geller on Friends, became the unfortunate victim of botched Botox, and since then, the actress has sworn off any kind of cosmetic procedures. Courtney has said in interviews that some doctors started suggesting that she gets fillers here and there, and after one too many pokes, she was left looking more plastic than human and totally botched. Courtney was led down a dark path of cosmetic alterations to make herself look more youthful, but in the end, the actress said that these procedures just led her to feeling more and more unhappy with her appearance. It was a vicious cycle. The fillers got so intense that Courtney eventually said enough is enough and got all of the fillers in her face dissolved. Because she was left looking so unlike herself after getting botched, Courtney says that she now prefers to be all natural, embracing her natural beauty. The takeaway from this is to only trust your own opinions and judgments, and to not listen to other people's opinions on how you should look. At number 3, Jocelyn Wildenstein. When you look up the most drastic celebrity appearances, a photo of Jocelyn Wildenstein will no doubt show up in your search. Her looks are a prime example of someone taking plastic surgery way too far. Though she was a model back in the day, too much plastic surgery has altered her appearance forever, to the point where she's mostly plastic and mostly botched. Jocelyn apparently started changing her appearance to make her husband happy, and she even modeled her look after big cats because her late husband was a big cat lover. She reportedly kept a lynx as a pet and said that because she thought the big cat's eyes were so perfect, she wanted to look just like it. Unfortunately, she went too far with her look. Over the years, she's gotten surgery on her eyes to make them look more cat-like, as well as receiving brow and facelifts, injections, implants, and more. She's left looking nothing like she did before all the surgery, with her entire face being remade into something completely new and unnatural. Even though her appearance is quite drastic, Jocelyn has said that she's not done altering her looks, but honestly, I don't know if it can get any more botched. But if it works for her, then I guess that's what matters. At number 2, Farrah Abraham. Teen mom star Farrah Abraham has been under the knife a number of times, but it just takes that one horrible moment to make you rethink all of your plastic surgery choices. You might have seen the infamous photo of Farrah Abraham's botched lip procedure, but let me tell you the story of how she got into that mess. In 2015, the reality star opened up about how she had a negative experience when she went under the knife for an experimental lip implant procedure. Farrah said that when she got the procedure done, she knew very quickly that something was wrong when the anesthesia just wasn't working for her. She didn't do much about that, but after the procedure was done and the implant was put in, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse. Turns out Farrah had an intense reaction to something during the procedure that caused her lip to swell up like crazy, leading to those crazy pictures. Luckily, she was able to get things sorted out and her lip went back to normal, but she did say that this was a really scary experience. And finally, at number 1, Tara Reid. Hollywood's it girl Tara Reid was making it big in the industry. That is until she got a botched plastic surgery that derailed her career. In 2004, Tara wanted to get some work done to her body and she received a few surgeries. She got breast implants and underwent a procedure called liposculpting where things went horribly wrong. After these procedures, she was left disfigured, describing some of the aftermath saying, quote, "My stomach became the mostly ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." End quote. Things got even worse for her after a wardrobe malfunction at Diddy's 35th birthday in 2004 exposed her botched body to the world. A lot of people online ended up body shaming the actress, making the situation so much harder to deal with. Even though she was able to correct the mistakes done to her appearance 2 years later, the damage was already done to her public image and career, showing us that not only was her body botched, but her career as well.
Starting us off at number 10 is Victoria Beckham. The fashion designer and former Spice Girl is beautiful nonetheless, but has publicly admitted to regretting her decision on getting plastic surgery. She said what she regrets the most are her breast implants that she got when she was just a teenager. So much so that she ended up getting them removed. She was 18 years old when she first got them done, and during an interview in 2017, she said, "I should probably say, don't mess with your all those years I denied it. Stupid, a sign of insecurity. Just celebrate what you've got." I personally remember idolizing the Spice Girls like religiously when I was young, so to hear that even she would suggest not getting them is very important. I'm honestly really glad that she's open and honest about her experience with it, because I think especially for young girls who still look up to the Spice Girls, this could be very eye-opening for them. Up next, number 9 is Cher. There is no denying that the 74-year-old icon still looks incredible for her age, and we can probably say that plastic surgery has helped with that, but she has openly admitted that. She's always been open about the work she's had done and has cracked jokes about her facelift. But she doesn't regret anything that she's had done to her new face transformation. The one thing she regrets is her breast augmentation. I'm already seeing a little trend happening here. She told People magazine that the surgery was a nightmare. She said they were really botched in every way. If anything, they were worse after than before. Clearly, that was not the goal when going to get the procedure done, but she has been able to hide it well, and certainly it has not hurt her confidence. Well, that we can tell. Sliding at number 8 is Courtney Cox. The Friends star looks a lot different than when we saw her playing the iconic role of Monica Geller on the TV series. And that's because gradually over time she's had a lot of work done to her face, which she now regrets. She had an open talk about it with New Beauty and said that it all started when doctors told her that a little injection and filler here or there would not do any harm. But things went too far and the actress said she did not look like herself anymore, which is not what she wanted. wanted. She said, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look more like myself. Everything is going to drop. I was trying to make it not drop, but that made me look fake." She also admitted to stopping treatment and procedures like altogether. Regardless, she was beautiful as Monica and she is still beautiful as Courtney, but in pictures comparison, they do look like two different people. She did not need to touch her face. She was so freaking pretty. That like hurts me. It literally kills me when like stunning people fix themselves. In at number 6 is Mickey Rourke. In the prime of his acting career, he was a total heartthrob, but there was a time when he had a different career where he took some shots to his handsome little face. He was once an amateur boxer and said that after some injuries he underwent some plastic surgery in hopes to fix it, but admitted that he chose the wrong doctor. Never a good thing. Back in 2017, when pictures of his new face surfaced online, people were in complete shock with how different he looked. He talked about his decision for plastic surgery and said, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together." Some of the injuries he had was a broken nose twice and a smashed cheekbone. He said he doesn't regret the decision to get his face fixed, but he regrets the doctor he went to. Cruising into number 4 is Jennifer Grey. The Dirty Dancing star has always had a very distinctive face and was known for her stunning looks. But when she decided to get rhinoplasty, it changed everything, and she said it was the worst decision she's ever made. She said the operation completely changed her face and it ruined her entire career. When speaking about it during an interview, she said, "I went in the operating room as a celebrity and came out anonymous. It was like being in a witness protection program or being invisible. I'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of my nose job." Now, I don't think she looks bad. Like, it's not like the surgery like botched her face physically, but she does look like a completely different person. Like, when I saw pictures, I was like, literally different person. So I do understand what she means. And that one's really sad. Rolling into number 2 is Joan Rivers. Going under the knife has never been a secret when it comes to this comedian. She's publicly talked about her procedures, which is a pretty decent list. Apparently, she's had a facelift, a nose job, a breast reduction, chin tucks, Botox, collagen, eye procedures, and lipo. She's actually happy to have the work done, but one thing she regrets is the lipo because it did not go as planned, which I think we know by now is a huge risk. She explained that she did not research the doctor enough before going, and the result of it just was not smooth. She also said if she could go back in time, she would have never done it. Maybe not with this doctor. Like, I feel like she might have done it with another one since she has had all the other work done. Obviously, she's not opposed to it, but kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Carmen Electra. It's not surprising that the Playboy model would feel the pressure or just simply want to get breast implants during her career. The Baywatch actress has been a sex symbol in the industry on more than one occasion. She openly admitted to getting breast implants but says that she wishes she never did because her breasts were nice before the operation. In 2010, she spoke about it and said, "I had breast surgery over 10 years ago, taking me from a 32B to a double D, which took a bit of time to get used to. I didn't want to go as big as that. It's nice that I don't have to wear a push-up bra anymore, but I could have left myself alone. I think I was fine the way I was." I feel like that's often the case. You do something and you're like, you know what, it wasn't all that bad before. She revealed she felt pressure to get the implants from another woman who had them and who told her that her life and career would improve if she got them. This woman was left unnamed, but I want to know, who told you to get them? Up next, number 9 is Tori Spelling. She's been in the public eye her entire life. She was just a teenager when she starred in her dad's drama series Beverly Hills 90210. Since the beginning of the show, fans have speculated if she's undergone plastic surgery, and almost 30 years later, people are still commenting on it. She has admitted to her cosmetic procedures and a plastic surgery operation, which she now regrets. She said when it comes to going under the knife, she has only had her nose and her breasts done, and the rest were all cosmetic. But she does regret getting her breast implants ever since she became a mom and realized the effect it had. The mother of 5 talked about it and said, "I got my boobs done in my early 20s, and if I had known it would or could possibly impact the production of milk, I would have never had them done." I don't know how she didn't know that. Don't they tell you? Like, don't they say this to a young woman? I mean, even I knew it. I even Googled breast implants and it's like, you know, I feel like that's just kind of known. No? No? You're putting plastic plastic in there and stuff. Of course breast milk is like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I feel like we just know that. Cruising into number 7 is Jamie Lee Curtis. She's always been the type of person to say it how it is, and before she fully embraced her natural beauty, she admits to experiencing a little bit. She talked to Mirror about her experience and thoughts on plastic surgery and said, "I've done it all. I've had a little plastic surgery, I've had a little lipo, I've had a little Botox, and you know what? None of it works, none of it." She went on to say she felt like she looked worse after the fact and that you start to become a caricature of yourself. Honestly guys, if this list doesn't have you like thinking twice about things maybe you wanted to get done, then I don't know what will. Because, you know, even doing the research, not that I want plastic surgery, but I was like, damn, there's a lot of people who have had it and regret it. And that's just a fact. Moving on to number 6, we have Kylie Jenner. There is no denying that Kylie's lips have played a huge part in the success of her career. She was one of the first people to get lip injections and make such a big impact in the beauty community, which is weird because tons of people have had it done before she did, but hers were such a drastic change that people started doing the Kylie Jenner challenge and suctioning a glass to their mouth, like sucking in the air just to make their lips bigger. Over time, Kylie has been able to create her own makeup line with her infamous kit called lip kits. Basically, it's like lip gloss and liner and stuff to make your lips look bigger. But believe it or not, she has actually regretted the size of her lips. I'm astonished. This actually shocks me, I'm not gonna lie. Her sister Kim interviewed her for Allure and asked what her biggest regret is, and Kylie said, "I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point. I got excited and felt like I needed to do a lot. And then you guys were like, Kylie, you need to chill. Then I had to go back and have it fixed, and it was a crazy process. Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Honestly, I think with lips, it's probably so easy to put a little too much in there. You know what I mean? That'd be like, that's so risky. And it's on your face. Happy the list number 5 is Kenny Rogers. He began making changes to his appearance early on in his career, and it's one thing in his life that he regrets. In his book, Luck or Something Like It, he said that at one point he became aware of his professional image and felt like reinventing himself would be necessary for him to thrive in his career and stay relevant. He said that if you are afraid to change your image in this type of industry, then your time is limited, which is like a really sad reality. When asked why he decided to get plastic surgery, he said at the time he had the money to do it and he also had the time off, so he just kind of did it. He openly admits to going under the knife and said that it was a bad decision, but that he has accepted it and learned how to live with it. I feel like that's so true. That's like Heidi Montag. Like she was just losing all her fame and then bam, just, I'm gonna reinvent myself and try to get attention. Like you get attention no matter what, but like, why would you stay relevant just because of plastic surgery? Like you'll make a few headlines, but then like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's sad. Here now at number 4 is Sharon Osbourne. The talk show host has candidly admitted the extensive list of plastic surgery she has had done on her body and face. She has spent over $120,000 on different procedures, which include liposuction, a neck lift, a job, and different work on her face. She has admitted to her breast implants being botched, which is one of the reasons why she said no to getting any more work done. During an interview, she said that her face now looks like plastic. She said she wishes that she had never done it and even went as far as calling it a on her body. She claims that she's completely done with going under the knife. Alright guys, at number 3 we have Denise Richards. She opened up to Us Weekly about her horrific experience with plastic surgery. She had breast implants done at a young age and said the experience was a total nightmare. She explained the story and said she got breast implants when she was just 19 years old, but the doctor put in bigger implants than what she asked for. So she went to a different surgeon to have them corrected, and that doctor gave her even bigger implants. What a nightmare. She said it was a nightmare and that she felt vulnerable given her age and where she was at in her career. She said, "I felt vulnerable. I was getting ready to film Wild Things and I didn't want to get into a lawsuit with some plastic surgeon. It wasn't right what the doctor did, but it is what it is." She now encourages women to embrace their natural beauty and sexuality before making that decision. Me too.
don't do it.
Rolling into number 2 is Jane Fonda. The 82-year-old actress has said she regrets going under the knife when she was younger and said she hates the fact that she felt the need to ever alter herself. When asked about it, she said she started to get work done when she got tired of looking tired when she wasn't actually tired. Story of my life. I feel like I just always look tired. Even when I'm not tired, I'll look tired. These bags, they don't lie. It wasn't until recent years that she has opened up about her surgeries. Normally, for a long time, she was really shy about it. But she spoke on it and said, "I'm not proud of the fact that I've had it, but I grew up so defined by my looks. I was taught to think that if I wanted to be loved, I had to be thin and pretty. That leads to a lot of trouble." People always compliment her on how good she looks for her age, because she looks incredible, but she's quick to say that she only looks that good with the help of plastic surgery. Damn, she does look good though. That plastic be holding up alright, because it looks good. Kicking off our countdown list, number 10 is Cameron Diaz. The blonde beauty has been open about her Botox experience and said when she got it for the first time, she watched her entire face change, which I thought kind of was the point. She has said that she quickly realized her face was never going to return to the way it was, and even after the Botox wore off, she knew that the anti-aging procedure just was not for her. She talked to Entertainment Tonight and said, "I've tried Botox before where it was like a little tiny touch of something. It changed my face in such a weird way that I was like, no, I don't want to be like that. I'd rather see my face aging than a face that doesn't belong to me at all." Honestly, that last little line of her quote, I think that is the best advice I've heard when it comes to having cosmetic procedures done. Like, think about it. I would rather have my aging face than a face that doesn't look like mine. That's some good advice. Up next, number 9 is Nicole Kidman. Believe it or not, the movie star has insecurities too, and similar to Diaz, she wanted to try the anti-aging procedures of Botox. Her face has always looked like a porcelain doll, even before the Botox, but she wasn't happy with it and wanted to change. But she didn't end up liking the change that it made to her face, and she said she could not move it. In 2013, she said, "I did try Botox, unfortunately, but I got out of it, and now I can finally move my face again." The actress has stopped getting the procedure done and said she tries to take care of her skin as naturally as possible now by wearing sunscreen, not smoking, and taking care of herself just overall in general. Cruising into number 8 is Katie Price. The English model and TV personality has always had a changing look throughout the years, but she's been open about it and said she regrets some of the surgery decisions she's made when she was younger. She spoke about it with Daily Mail and said that she urges people to do their research before going under the knife because it was something that she did not do. She said, "I wish I had known that when I was younger because I could have saved myself a lot of heartache and surgery." But despite having regrets, she has continued doing more, and in 2019 articles surfaced everywhere saying her family is worried about her plastic surgery addiction. Her family and friends were practically begging her to stop after she started looking like a totally different person. Up next, number 6 is Janice Dickinson. She has been given the titles of the world's first supermodel, but has gotten several procedures done to alter her natural beauty, which has left her looking like a completely different person. She's had a breast enlargement, a tummy tuck, facelifts, and liposuction. But the one procedure she regrets most is her breast implants. This regret came after she was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer back in 2016. The doctor actually told her that it's more challenging to detect abnormalities within a breast when a woman has breast implants. So there is a chance that her cancer could have been detected sooner if she did not have them in. She talked about it and said, "If I had to play my life over again, I would never have gotten breast implants in the first place." Happy with your list. Number 5 is Gisele Bündchen. The Brazilian model and actress also had regrets with her breast implants. She admitted that after having 2 kids, she was unhappy with her breasts, so in 2015 she decided to get a job. But she later regretted that decision. When talking about it with People magazine, she said, "When I woke up, I was like, what have I done? I felt like I was living in a body I did not recognize. For the first year, I wore baggy clothes because I felt so uncomfortable." She also revealed that she first had them done because people kept commenting on the fact that they were uneven due to her breastfeeding. She said she felt vulnerable and had to change them because as a model, she was always praised for her body. Oh my god, imagine having that done and then feeling worse than you did before. And then for a year you're like, that was pointless because I feel even worse. Oh, that hurts me. We've made it to number 4 and we have Kathy Griffin. The comedian is known for her wit and blunt personality, but her looks have always been a topic in conversation. Throughout her career, she has relied on plastic surgery and ongoing treatments, but there is one procedure that nearly killed her back in 2009. In her memoir, she published photos of her botched liposuction that left her looking like she described a CSI crime scene. She wanted to actually publish the photos as a public service announcement to try and warn other women who might be considering getting the surgery done. She was left botched after she suffered from some complications. She went 4 years without any plastic surgery after that, but then ended up changing her mindset about it and actually went on to have a facelift, a nose job, eyelid surgery, Botox, and more liposuction. That's crazy. After an experience like that, how do you ever go under the knife again? That's gotta be traumatizing. The pictures are like Taking over the 3rd spot is Melissa Gilbert. The actress regretted her breast augmentation so much that she eventually had her implants removed. She opened up about it on her blog, explaining her big decision. Spending a lot of her life with a flat chest, she felt insecurities and decided to get a job after the birth of her first son, and after her ex-husband had some negative things to say about her chest. That pisses me right off. So when she got divorced, she made a decision to get them done. But years after, she started feeling uncomfortable when doing normal activities and had concerns for her health. She said that she would take a Zumba class and fear that she would end up with 2 black eyes again, so she had the implants removed and regretted ever getting them done in the first place. Man, screw her ex-husband. In the number 2 spot is Jessica Simpson. She revealed a lot about her personal life in January 2020 when she released her memoir titled Open Book. She opened up about her experience with plastic surgery and some of the regrets that she had. In 2015, she had 2 tummy tuck surgeries which left her with some complications after the 2nd procedure. She explained why she got it done and said, "I wanted to get rid of the stretch marks and loose skin left sagging from my back-to-back pregnancies. I was so ashamed of my body at this point that I wouldn't let Eric see me without a t-shirt on," Eric being her husband. Turns out she got an infection from one of the surgeries and she was in the hospital for 9 days. She was vomiting so much the doctors thought she was going to burst something and told her that she might need a blood transfusion. She also said that she had regrets when she got lip fillers done and was happy when those faded out after just a few months. In the number 1 spot is Gwyneth Paltrow. There has always been speculation and rumors going around about the work that she allegedly had done to her face. But she does stand firm on the fact that she's never gone under the knife, technically, when it came to her face. So it's really whatever you believe. But besides that, she has admitted to having many cosmetic procedures done, and one she regrets the most is Botox. This seems to be a trend, that people aren't happy with Botox. Just saying. In 2013, she told Harper's Bazaar, "I've tried everything. I would be scared to go under the knife, but you know, talk to me when I'm 50. Except I won't do Botox again because I looked crazy. I looked like Joan Rivers." Not very nice, but coincidentally enough, Joan was on one of my other parts to this list, and she also regrets her plastic surgery. This is a very big trend. Maybe we should all just not get it done.